you are live.
Oh, what's up, everyone? It is Friday night. It's the Woodscopes. How y'all living? It is a pleasure to be here. We are broadcasting for the very first time on, I shouldn't say the very first time. Back in the Periscope days, we had a stream going on YouTube, and no one was using YouTube back then. So now we are on YouTube and Twitch. But if you're chatting in either one of them right now, if you're in Twitch and you're chatting, the people on YouTube could see it. If you're in YouTube and you're chatting, the people in Twitch can see it. We are eventually going to migrate fully over to YouTube, I think, because Twitch sucks balls. Tonight we have a special guest, but let me get into some announcements. First of all, how you guys doing? I got to check out. 12 looks like he's floating on a cloud. That would be probably something Horses is responsible for, but we'll talk about that after the show. Let's just kidding, Horse. All right, so some of the announcements. Of course, you guys know about this Trainwreck show. We do Trainwreck is a show we put together. Pool Doc hit me up one day and he's like, "Hey, Wood, you want to do a show?" I'm like, "With Pool Doc? Hell yeah, dude. Pool Doc is a beast." So we got together, we started brainstorming. We got Haunted Horse as our engineer to put the visual effects on, and we got to get Bacon on, right? So Headstrom Bacon is one of our guys. We do that show once every other week. Next Saturday, I think. Horse, if you're listening, is that correct? I think it's next Saturday. We're going to do an episode there.
That is correct.
We're on Twitch there. We'll probably move that over to YouTube as well. Probably on the YouTube channel, on the Woodscopes channel too, just for the heck of it. Then DJ Haunted Horse show on Friday nights when we're not doing the Woodscopes. He has a show where he's doing DJ shows. You guys come in. It's on the Mixcloud. If you can't find it, go to the Hollywood Rejects website, hollywoodrejects.com. There is a button there for all of these shows. You go there and you request your favorite song or even a song to troll everybody, and he'll play it. And it's good banter. Everyone is in there chatting, smacking on each other. It's good shit. Okay, like I said, we're moving to YouTube. We got the Water Hole, which Horse, I think that's on once every Wednesday.
Every Wednesday.
Wednesday. Okay, so that's with Ryan and Sacktown and you. You guys, what's the goal there? You guys are just making up, reading stories. I haven't watched.
I do weird news, and he brings shit, and we don't know what either other person's talking about, and
nice.
It's just a way to kill time.
And not to sound like a complete asshole, like I can't watch it because I'm like doing family shit on the weeknights. So, and you guys start like if you start. All right, that's it. Get out. Oh wait, you can't leave because if you leave, we all leave. Okay, we're good. You guys follow me on Twitter. 12 Wood. Follow Horse at Haunted 00 Horse. Instagram. I want to start building this Instagram thing up a little bit. So if you're on Instagram, look up Woodscopes. I have a 12 Wood account too, but that's kind of more like, I don't know, my friends and family and stuff. Not that you guys aren't, but look up Woodscopes there and find me there. Let's see. We are going to do a thing where we're going to play a sound on this episode. And you guys have to guess what this sound is. What is that sound, Horse? What is that sound? It sounds like something you would hear on a freaking like horror movie. Let's play. Yeah, that. What is that? You guys have to guess what that is. Whoever gets it right, we're gonna pay. We're gonna $1 million via gift cards to your favorite whatever. I don't care, whatever you want. So coming up now, very pleased, very honored, very like humbled to have a very awesome Chad in Portland. He is the host of the Drive, Rip City Drive Radio 620 AM. He's got his own podcast called What's Chad Doing. He is the only emailer. Now, going back to the Jim Rome show, he was originally an emailer, turned into a caller, went to the Smack Off, then participated in a show where Jim Rome was there, and then he eventually became a guest host on the Jim Rome show. We are talking to the ever so famous Chad Doing. How you doing, Chad?
Man, what's up, 12 Wood?
We don't have a visual.
Dude, it's so good to see you guys. Who cut off? Let me turn on the video there.
Oh, there you are. There you are. Man, look at this beautiful face. How you doing, Bubba?
I'm doing well. So good to see you guys. First off, thanks for having me on. It's great to catch up with you guys. And I got to tell you what, Wood and Haunted Horse, what you're doing now with Woodscopes, and I listened to the entire conversation with Grant Napier, man. Nice work.
Thank you.
Sounds good. I can tell you're getting comfortable in your role, Woods. So good work, man. It's terrific.
It's fun. I know it's
Great to be here.
I'm not one of those people who are just like have the gift of like gab, but like I could chat with any normal human being. The thing I believe, and I told you this the other day, is I believe everyone has a story. And that's why I was like, dude, Chad, last time you were on the Woodscopes, that was like, I think 2018.
It was a long time ago. And that was back in your infancy stage when you were still, getting comfortable with the whole deal.
Yeah, it's still trying to do that. But dude, I had a blast chatting with you. I was like, I got to get this guy on again. I do remember one thing you said that you were going to make a Woodscopes parody, but I don't remember hearing. Did anyone else? Give me ones if you ever heard Chad doing a Woodscope. I see twos. I only see twos out there. What's going on, Chad?
Well, no, it's good. Here's what I've got. I've got a lot of different parodies that are in the hopper, and ideas are always coming up. And then a lot of times I might hit, like, no joke, like writer's block, and then I'll come back to them. But I've always got things working. And in fact, I had someone ask me the other day, it's like, when are you going to go back on the Rome show? And I'm like, I'm going to. I don't know when the moment's going to be, but there'll be that inspiration where I'm like, okay, now is the time to re-enter. And of course, if I do, after an extended stretch where I have not been on, I can't just come back in with some weak call. It's got to be strong. So I'm waiting for the proper inspiration. That's how it works.
Dude, okay, so that's an easy segue into the whole like Chad in Portland and the Jim Rome show. But I want to back up before we go there. Yeah. This is the thing I love is to see, dude, you're obviously a guy on Twitter, Instagram, you got a blue chip behind your name. You're somebody. And the thing that I love to hear is how the nobody got to somebody. And when I was starting to read a little bit, correct me if I'm wrong, you were working at a health club facility. And some lady came in who worked at a radio station. Do you want to share this story? I'll butcher it.
Yeah. No, it's a great story. And it's because you're right. Everyone, you and Haunted Horse, everyone listening, everyone's got a story on how they got to where they were. And it's usually like someone opens up a crack and then you take off from there. So I worked at a health club over in Vancouver, Washington, which is just, right across the bridge from Portland, Oregon. And I worked there for 8 years at this place called Health Experience. And the owners there, the Mello brothers, were great dudes. And I started there when I was in high school, and it was a great place to work as I was going through college. All I ever cared about was radio. I knew, here's how the conversation went. And I'm sure a lot of guys out there had this conversation with their dad. My dad came up to me when I was about 13, 14 years old, and he said, based on your athletic ability and your height, being in the NBA might not be in your future, but there are other ways you can be close to sports. And my grandpa was a big radio fan. I grew up listening to Cardinal baseball games and music and some other things on radio. So I always loved radio. Once I got my mind focused on broadcasting or radio, it's all I wanted to do. So fast forward, I'm in college. I'm working at the health club. I'm like at the front desk. So when people come in and they want to tour the club, I got to show them around. This lady fills out this little slip where you got to put your name, your address, how you heard about the club and all that kind of deal. And she put her occupation on there as radio announcer. And so I saw that and I'm like, oh, I'll take her on the tour. No problem. So I got to talking to her. Her name was Pam Atherton. She's come to find out she was a longtime radio vet, and she was kind of a voice artist. She would do different things with her voice, with commercial and through acting and stuff like that. I told her about my love of radio, and she said, I've been looking for someone to come on my morning show on this station in Vancouver on 1550 AM. Would you be interested in coming in to talk about home exercises that people can do at home to take care of their body, especially coming up the holiday season? I said, sure. After the second Monday I went in to do that, I was sitting in the lobby waiting to go on, and this big gentleman came in. His name is John Phillips. He's like a sports talk radio, one of the godfathers of sports talk radio in Portland. He walks in. I introduce myself, and the second question out of his mouth is, would you be interested in being a part of our high school broadcast? And I said, you've got to be kidding me. Of course I would. And so that's how it started. She got me in because I was going to go on to talk about these home exercise tips. I met John Phillips, and then he kind of opened up the pathway into doing some high school sports, which led to doing some sports talk on that station. And that's where I met a friend of mine, Gavin Dawson, who I ended up working with in my first full-time job on a morning show at a different station. So one person led to another person, which opened up the door to all these different people in radio in the area. And that's how I got my feet wet and initially got my foot in the door to get things started.
That's really cool. I mean, it's exactly the same story talking to Grant Napier last month when he was traveling back and forth, went to a wedding, and that's how he got his job for the Kings, and it's like that's it's funny how these stars line up for these people, people like you, and it's like you dream about these opportunities. Here's the thing that I believe, that some people out there who have kind of like they want to be in broadcasting, but they don't have the level of passion that you have, maybe miss the opportunities because they're not looking for it. You know what I mean? And she said she's a broadcaster. You're like, I have to talk to her, right? Yeah. You know what I mean? So I think
the key is, and I would say this to anyone that, and especially for the younger individual, maybe you're, you've been 20 years in the same job and you finally want to go in a different direction. Here's the key to broadcasting. I didn't get the opportunities I got because I was some type of wild talent. I got it because I was willing to do anything that any radio boss asked me to do. And I stayed around a station, did a lot of things for free, did a lot of internships. And if you just stick around and continue to put in the time and you try to learn from the people around you who know more and who have experience in the job, eventually you're going to get an opportunity. And when you do, then it's up to you to make the most of it. That's what I tell all the youngsters, whether you're excuse me, a boy or a girl or whatever the situation is. If you get in and you apply yourself and you stick around, you're going to outlast the people who realize that, radio or TV or whatever is not for them, and you'll get your opportunity and you make the most of it. And that's exactly what happened with me. And if I went and talked to the majority of people in this town who are working in Portland, or if I went down and talked to anyone else in LA, it probably started the same way. And if you stick around and you hang in and put in the work and you're willing to, grind and sacrifice, you'll get the opportunity. So it's, it really initially is not about talent. It's about the want to and the desire and just bothering people to where they're finally like, look, hey, Chad, I'll let you do it. Just please stop bothering me. And that's really what it's about. How many of us have gotten opportunities by being persistent like that? What's sad is when I first started, the only thing this John guy told me was, he goes, look, just make me a promise. I'm giving you an opportunity. Any youngster that you come across in the future that has the same passion that you do, make sure that you extend the same olive branch that I did. And I said, no problem. When I got into business, there were less regulations on like internships, right? For people that wanted to come in and do an internship. There was no regulation. Then all of a sudden, everyone wanted to start getting paid for their internships. I was getting people in as an intern, getting them experience, and they were getting jobs at other stations. So I was calling it the Chad and Portland School of Broadcasting. The problem is, once the regulations kicked in, I was more limited on how many interns I could get in to share the experience.
Oh my gosh.
That's really what it was about, because I was able to get into a station. The boss would be like, look, I can't pay you right now. I said, I don't need you to pay me. Just let me come in and hang out. Right. And that's what I did until you meet the people and you watch and learn and you study, right? And then eventually you kind of get an idea of how things work and you go from there.
It's a different generation too. It's like if someone wants to broadcast, they just turn on Twitch and they play their video games and watch me licking microphones and like, I don't know, like the weirdest things on the internet and these young kids are finding. But you worked your ass off to get where. I mean, look what you're doing though. You're covering like your favorite basketball team of all time. You're talking sports for a living. You got a podcast. You're interviewing some very awesome guests.
I would say that the one thing I learned is that that the work, the ground cover work, I didn't know it at the time, but when I was traveling out to the Willamette Valley in the middle of nowhere to cover high school games, or I was doing weekend work where I was running operating the board and getting games on the air and stuff like that, you don't understand where it's going, but it's that ground cover work I look back on now and I appreciate the most. But I would say of all the things I enjoy the most in the job, it's the people that you come in contact with, get to interview and talk to, like people that I would have never thought that I would have been able to cross paths with, whether it's people in business or sports or entertainment. You never think you're going to get a chance to talk to them, but then the opportunity to interview those people, much like with the people you've had a chance to interview, getting a chance to talk to those people and see what makes them tick is one of the best parts of the job. No question.
Amen to
And
that. I mean,
all my dad ever told me was, he goes, find what you love, find what it is that you love, and do that. He goes, don't worry about the money. Eventually, the money will follow, but
the byproduct.
don't make decisions strictly off of finances, because if you do, you're going to wind up in a job where even if you're making a ton of money, you'll be miserable. And I'm glad I followed that advice, because even on the worst day in sports talk radio, it's still, it's even on the worst days, it's still good. You know,
It's better than washing windows and mowing yards and
yeah.
So okay, here's a question I have, because you brought it up. Like, you've been in the business now since like 1996. Who have you interviewed that's just like blown you away? Just like, oh my gosh, I'm actually talking to this person, or even just someone who maybe isn't as famous and just like had the conversation. You're like, oh my gosh, that was unbelievable.
Well, I would say one of the people that jumps out initially is Captain Sullenberger, the guy that landed the bird on the Hudson.
Right, yeah, I know who he is.
I had a chance to interview him, and he was really cool. And then I realized when I was talking to him, like, this guy's super smart, and I was blown away by, he's so calm. Like, think of your favorite athlete. Like, who's your favorite athlete? Who's the guy you look to that's like mine's John Elway. Who's your guy?
Scott, right now it's got to be okay. Alex Gordon is my guy. He's a Kansas City Royal. Grew up in Nebraska. He went to a high school that I was close to. Went to the same college. Played for my favorite baseball team. Can't not love the guy. But yeah, Aaron Rodgers is on that list too. You know,
Aaron Rodgers, Alex Gordon, great examples. When they're in their element in pressure-packed situations, they don't even look like they have a pulse, right? Like Aaron Rodgers in the 2-minute drill, he's not worried. The game's so slow for him because he's so freaking great at what he does. Right. I'm talking to Sully, and I'm like, how did you have the wherewithal to not freak out and think, I'm going to die, and land a bird on the plane? And he just calmly told me, he goes, it was the years and years of training and studying and flight hours and all those things that I did leading up to that moment that had me prepared for the situation. So he goes, I wasn't worried about the situation. I was busy discussing it with my co-pilot on our options and how we were going to take the safest approach to land the plane. And I'm like, that guy, he has the same thing that Michael Jordan had. He's got that clutch gene where in that moment, he's not freaking out, man. He's like, he's going to land the plane and make it happen. So I enjoyed the conversation with him, and I realized, like, that guy's a better man than I am. Sugar Ray Leonard was one of my favorite fighters growing up. I loved him, and that Hagler-Leonard fight back in the 80s is like one of my favorites of all time. But I interviewed him, and he actually broke down crying in the interview because he was sharing stories about his childhood. He was molested. And I'm like, I was just quiet. And then he was sobbing, and I just told him, I said, Sugar, it's okay, man. I feel your pain, and I'm just glad you're here to share it. And then he continued talking, and I'm just like, here's one of the baddest dudes on the world who is sharing this moment of openness with me, shedding tears. And I almost didn't know what to do. And so that was really crazy because I had so much respect for him. And the one interview, probably one of my favorites that you wouldn't think would be one of my favorites, but you remember the show back in the day, 90210?
Uh-huh.
You remember Luke Perry?
Oh, yeah.
Who passed away tragically a couple of years ago. I interviewed him, and I had the opportunity to interview him, and I did a lot of study before the interview, and I realized that what I realized about Luke Perry before I'd even talked to him is like, this guy does not have patience for idiotic interview questions, right? Like I watched like several interviews where he just got up and walked away because he did not like the line of questioning. And so I'm sweating bullets because I'm like, this guy's cool, and I've always liked him. I don't want to screw this interview up. So I came up with a pathway and a plan. I thought, I've got to ask him about 90210, but I'm not going to hit him with that off the top. He was doing some work with the Hallmark channel, Hallmark like Western channel, where he had made a couple of Western movies, right? And so I did a lot of study on the movies to know all the details in the background. I watched it, and so I started out with questions about the Hallmark channel and what he was doing, and then I circled back around. I knew what he did on 90210 that got him in a position where he could direct and do some of his own work and kind of create his own shows. Right. He spent a lot of time because they were on set filming all the time. So he spent a lot of time with the on-set crew at 90210 learning about the ins and outs of the business, right? Yeah. And so I went to him and I said, I want to ask you about 90210, and I want you to share with me what you learned by taking the opportunity that you had in that role to learn about the business. And that opened him up to where he shared the things he wanted to talk about. And then I finally was able to ask him, I said, do you regret the role now? Because you're so identified with that role on 90210. Do you regret the role, or can you look back now with time and appreciate it? And he went on that he said, early on, I hated it because I was typecast and I was looked at as one guy, one character. But he goes, I learned so much, and that opened up the pathway for me to do what I'm doing now. And he goes, I can appreciate it now. And at the end of the interview, he said something that I appreciated so much. He said, you know what, Chad, thank you. You were a gracious interviewer. And I got the compliment from Luke Perry. Dude, and I was like, one of those deals where, like, you ever been so nervous where, like, your armpits are like emitting like heat and like wetness all at the same time? And I'm like, I'm just sitting there in the studio about to curl up in the fetal position and try not to hyperventilate because I was nervous. And but when that was done, I felt like I need a cigarette or something because I felt like I had nailed it. And it was such a great feeling. And I'll tell you this happened just a couple of years ago, and I couldn't believe that I did it. But you're wearing the Nebraska hat because you knew I grew up in Oklahoma, and I'm a big...
Yeah, that's why I put it on.
So this is how it worked when I was younger. My Nana, who I love dearly, she just passed away a couple of years ago, but I spent a lot of time with her because she lived right down the street. But basically, it was explained to me, it's like, Chad, Jesus is here, Barry Switzer's here. And so you learn from a young age in Oklahoma, it's like Barry Switzer's the king. Oklahoma football is all that matters. So I finally had a chance to interview Barry Switzer a couple of years ago at the show. And
that is awesome, dude.
Dude, I got so nervous as I was about to introduce him on, as I couldn't even get through my introduction. I started hyperventilating because it's like it all hit me at one point. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm talking to Barry Switzer. And he was kind. He laughed and he goes, it's okay, because he knew I was from Oklahoma. And but I think the hardest part for me, and maybe it would be the same for you, I find that interviewing the people, like the athletes that I grew up admiring, like John Elway or Barry Switzer, some of these guys, the ones that I looked up to who were larger than life when I was a kid, I have a harder time interviewing those individuals than I do of the people who are younger than I am now that I cover now. I interviewed Tom Osborne. I've done it twice.
Nice.
I have so much respect for Mr. Osborne, for Coach Osborne, and all the work that he's done, that I was nervous to talk to him because I can honestly say, even though I've never met him face to face, that I love him because I love what he stands for and the man that he is. So I was the same thing. It was hard for me to talk to him because of the respect that I have for him. But the great thing is I've learned is, like, you got to go through those nerve-wracking experiences to get better with it. But I would say that Tom Osborne, Barry Switzer, Sugar Ray, Luke Perry, definitely Captain Sullenberger stands out. And I interviewed Buzz Aldrin once too. And
did you ask him if it was legit? Did you actually go? No.
What I learned from that guy is the same thing with Sullenberger, right? Like, like he's so smart that when I asked him, I said, what is it like to be in space and look back and see the Earth as you're floating around? And he's like, it's an incredible view and it's spectacular, but it was more of a thing of, it's exactly what I expected it would be, because he spent so much time training and preparing for the moment that when he got there, that it was exactly what he thought it would be. And I also asked him if he was upset that he wasn't the first person to step out on the moon. And he said, no. He goes, we were part of something that was great. And you're just happy for any of your colleagues that have the opportunity to do that. So, but that was nerve-wracking because Buzz Aldrin's so much smarter than I'll ever be. So I'm just like, wow.
Let me ask you this. Do you chase these guests down, or how do you get these? I mean, were you a fan of Buzz, or were you just like, how did you get that? Because that's an amazing interview right there.
Well, I get that, and it's a great question. And there's a variety of different ways. Buzz Aldrin came available because of when you work for a radio station, and iHeart, the company I work for, is a massive company. You have these different PR companies that will reach out and give you opportunities to talk to certain people. So sometimes they'll come to you. I have had producers in the past who will, you can subscribe. You've probably seen these on the internet. You can subscribe to like these, I don't know, it's like the white pages, but they have these services you can pay for where you can put in anyone's name and you can pull up their phone number and you'll have access to them, right?
No.
So I've got a story on that. So my producer, and this is awesome, he pulled up, he accessed John Stockton's dad's phone number, right? Because they wanted
Yeah.
to get Stockton on to talk, some Blazer basketball, and because they were playing the Jazz in the playoffs, and some Gonzaga too. So he called the house, and it was Stockton's dad that answered. He's like, "Hey, is John there?" And he's like, "Oh no," but the dad was super nice. He's like, "Let me get you his phone number for him." So dad gave my producer Stockton's number, and he called Stockton, and the first thing Stockton said was like, "How'd you get this number?" "Oh, your dad gave it."
Yeah.
Never call it again. Click. He was pissed off, because someone had gotten his number, and Stockton's a pretty private guy, so he didn't want someone lobbing calls to
He
his
answered,
personal
though.
number. He did it. He answered his phone.
We had you know who Left in Laguna is, right? I mean,
Yes.
he was on the Woodscopes during the Smack Off last year, and I was like, "Who's the most famous person in your phone?" And he's like, "I got Najee Davenport." So we called Najee. I'll send you the link afterwards. We called Najee Davenport, and he answered his phone. And then we did another episode the week after, and I think it was Brad, Benny. I mean, all these like the top tier Smack Off guys right now were all on at the same time, and they all took turns calling Najee Davenport. And every single time the guy would answer the phone, and I was like, "Oh my gosh!" You would think, don't answer the phone if you don't recognize the number. Don't answer the phone, but. Yeah, I get what you're saying about because dude, listen, I do this show in my basement. I'm a nobody, but I've had the opportunity, blessed to have these opportunities. Jim Rome, Michael Francis, I don't know if you know who that is.
No. Oh, I've interviewed him. He's one of my favorite dudes ever. He is awesome.
Yeah, Michael Francis, Ben Mesrick.
Yeah,
he's the guy that wrote the books that turned into the movies 21 and The Social Network.
awesome.
Cruz Pedregon was on that list. Pharrell on the bench. I mean, like, who am I? The lead singer from the Spin Doctors, Chad Doing is on that list. Grant Napier. I mean, it's like when Rome came on, that was the most bizarre thing I've ever experienced because we had my brother got this brand new cell phone and he was here. He lives in Nebraska, but he was here in Wisconsin that weekend. And he's like, "I got this new cell phone. You got to try it out for the Woodscopes, So we put it on the tripod. We turn it sideways.
Yeah.
Started the episode, no comments. Usually you see the comments on the right side. And I was like, "Is this even going? Is this going?" And like, yeah. And like people in my background are like, "Yeah, it's going. It's going." I was like, I'm freaking out because now I'm going to be talking to Jim Rome. The guy I've been chasing for a whole entire year. Yeah, I was hyperventilating. It was the hardest thing I ever went through. But yeah, we ended the interview. It was fun. He had a good time. I had a good time, and glad we did it. But
You know what's great about that too, and this is one thing I love about Jim is that I listened to that. He was patient with you. He was gracious. And he was super cool, man. And that's one thing I love about him is that he's always been with me, and I know with others who are part of his jungle family, like the encouragement. He's never forgotten the people who helped him to get to where he's at. He'll spend time with you. He'll answer questions. And anytime I've interacted with him, in person, like, he's just super cool. Like he's definitely Jim Rome, but he handles himself with class and he gets it. And I think he appreciates guys like you or anyone else who are doing these type of things because he understands the grind. He was there. I know how I talked to a lady that I worked with in San Francisco when I was down there with Intercom, which is now Odyssey. When I was working at 95.7 The Game. She worked for one of the music stations. She was in college at Santa Barbara at the same time that Jim Rome was. And Jim Rome was this is back when he was hustling, trying to make his way, right? So he had
fabricating the traffic.
Yeah, so he had a college radio show on the local college station, right? And I think he had like an hour on it, but he called it the Jim Rome Show. But this is back before the internet and all that stuff. He was typing up and then printing out show sheets that he would hand out to people on campus and in the dorm, the Jim Rome Show and what was coming up. And he was out there hustling, doing all the work. He was learning how to get the job. See, people forget this because they see the finished product in Rome and how he's big time now, but they don't realize he went through the same ground cover work. He's on campus typing out the Jim Rome Show and what's coming up on that 1 hour show on the campus radio station, walking around. He's that guy that no one wants, the flyers. But that's the type of work and the grind he was putting in even before he got to the fake traffic reports trying to give his boss down in San Diego what he wanted, right? But that's what he was doing. And so when I hear those stories, it's nice to hear that, oh, yeah, that's right. He didn't just walk into a station and get behind a microphone.
Yeah.
there was a process for him to get to where he was at, and he had to grind and get there. And I think that's pretty cool. And that's goes back to what you were saying about kids today. Like, kids like the idea of broadcasting or being on a mic, but they don't want to hear about the ground cover and all the process that it takes to develop the skill. Like, they don't want that. They want to just jump behind a mic. But it's really the hard work all the ground cover work to get you to that point where you're ready for it. That's the stuff that really matters, right?
Yeah.
So Jim Rome typing up that show sheet, walking around campus handing out flyers. Like, there's so much value in that, in what he picked up before he even got to where he was at. So then when you finally get the opportunity to talk to Grant Napier, all these other people, you respect it so much more because you understand that where you were at, what it took to get there. And I just love that story, that Jim Rome was, there's a reason why he got to where he's at, because he worked his ass off, and he's been good to people along the way, which is great.
Now, I mean, he's got 17 different podcasts going on at once. He's got his show is still unbelievable. I mean, it's you're right. I mean, like, the way he came in, first of all, he's gonna take his opportunity to just crush me in my lowest moment. But then it's like he almost like took my hands and like walked me through it, and I got very comfortable with it. It's only a half-hour interview, and I got so comfortable at the end. I was talking to him about his dad and stuff. And that's
which is great. He could have crushed you in that moment,
but it kept me down. Yeah, he didn't. But that's one of those moments, and I know you could probably say that with Sugar Ray and Buzz Aldrin and all those guys. No one could ever take that away from you. They can't even take it away from you. It's something that you will cherish. You're like, you got to pinch yourself. I'm Chad doing. Well, like, how am I talking to? I'm working at a radio station and talking about my favorite basketball team every day. Like, this is unbelievable.
Yeah, and you understand that life is fleeting, right? Like, it could all end tomorrow, but at least I can look back and realize that I'm thankful for the time I had and the people I got a chance to meet and talk to, and you have those memories. And that's what I realized now as I get older. It's like, it's the memories we create. I know it sounds cheesy, right? But like, when you go places, you hang out with people, you have the conversations, you do what we're doing right now. We're creating all these memories that's really what we're a product of, right? We can look back on and cherish those things, which is what makes this kind of thing pretty cool. I like it.
It's great. It's just seeing the whole evolution of how people got passing out flyers at school, and Grant Napier going to driving back and forth from Akron to New York and meeting someone at a wedding. You doing your dad telling you to stick by it, and you're working for free as an intern and meeting people while you're working at a health club. And then somehow in the middle of all this, you become Chad in Portland on the Jim Rome show, the guy who emails about Magic Johnson, your illegitimate father.
Yeah, so this is how it went down. I was working at 1080 The Fan here in Portland at the time, and that was the station that was carrying Jim Rome at the time. And I was doing updates during the morning show, which I think was Colin Cowherd, and then I was doing updates during the Jim Rome show. So I would run board and do sports updates during both shows. Well, as you know, as we've established, I'm from Oklahoma, and then one day I heard this someone from Wichita, Mike in Wichita. He threw some shade at Oklahoma, and I'm like, okay, I've had it. I'm going to send an email, and I fired off an email, and it got on. And after that, I just continued to try to find crafty ways to send emails that might get read, and the rest is history. There was no rhyme or reason for what I was doing. I just was trying to be as creative as I could to find a way to catch Travis Rogers' eyes so I could get emails read on the air. That's kind of how it started.
So, okay, so like the first one you said, was that the very first email you sent and Jim read it?
Yeah, the first email I sent was in reference to the BTK killer, which is from the Wichita area, right? Because here's a guy from Wichita sucks, right? I've been there. The Wichita. It's a trash town. I know because I grew up in Oklahoma, and Wichita was right across the border, not too far from where my parents met. So I'm like, I'm not going to let some guy from Wichita crack on Oklahoma. So I got ticked off. So I fired it off, the BTK reference. It got read, and I was like, well, that was okay. So that's when I thought I can put some more effort into this. And because I'm sitting there doing updates during the show, and I'm listening to the show, and I've got a computer in front of me, so it's not like I had any other things going on. So it allowed me the freedom to rapid fire emails on any topic that I thought was necessary to try and get them on the air. So I had an advantage from the standpoint that I was listening to the Rome show, running the board and doing sports updates during the Rome show. So my total attention during that span was all on the show and focused on trying to come up with different ways to entertain.
I mean, it's like, okay, so you decide one day you're going to start calling the show, and here I guess the question that came up, like when you were just mentioning that, is like, was there ever anyone at the radio station or like, Chad, can you dial it back a little bit, or were they encouraging you? What was that like?
Well, that's a great question. I didn't go around telling anyone what was going on, right? So it's not like I'm going to go,
hey, radio station.
Yeah, I'm not going to walk around saying, hey, I just sent an email to Rome. They read it, because then you sound like an idiot. Yeah. So I just kept doing it. And then more and more of the emails kept getting read. And then finally, my boss was like, hey, I've just got a question for you. Are you the Chad emailing the show? I said, yeah, that's me. So my boss loved it. He encouraged it. And then he was making promos to run on the station of Jim's reaction to some of the ridiculous emails I would send in. So once I got the encouragement from the boss, then it was like, that was basically like him coming in and just pouring gasoline on top of the flame. And I'm going to go all out. And then I just started rapid firing and going from there. And then it was, I think from then I thought, okay, what's the next step? Because I've got a call, right? You know, I work at the station. I've got to make a phone call. But I thought I can't work in radio and make a phone call and have it suck. So I wanted to make sure I was prepared. But what was cool is that, like, I'm talking to a microphone for you. When I would call the Rome show, I wouldn't call on a telephone. I was able to call through the radio board where you can dial someone up. So I was talking into a mic, and I was able to have my computer in front of me, and any sound effects or songs that I wanted to play, it was all right there on the board. So it was just a quick button push, which made it easier. So it was, it was like I was making a phone call, but it wasn't a phone call. I was calling from a radio. It gave me access to do it how I wanted to do it. Yeah.
That's how the Smack Off guys are doing it these days. I mean, they're the guys from Wisconsin are going to the WDUZ and getting the access to the microphone. Okay, so question I had. Okay, so the very first parody you did was with Prince.
Yes.
Chad in Wichita.
Yeah, Little Red Corvette. Yep. Where
the hell did you get like the singer sounded just like Prince? Backup singers in it. You had the music to it. What did you? Yeah.
I'll give you the whole story. Here's exactly where it comes from. So, we have access, and I still have access to it, but there's a company that's based out of the East Coast in New York where a lot of radio stations will access this content. What they do is they say, hey, we'll give you access to our service where we can create jingles and songs and other comedy bits. And all we're asking is that we'll give you some inventory for spots that we want to run on your station. So most stations will do this because they can access this service. Well, I knew about the service, and it's like, oh, this is perfect. So here's the great part. I come up with any song I want, any song I can think of. I write the lyrics, and I send it off, and I say, okay, here's the song. Here's what I'm looking for. And then this group that I send it off to, they have an entire stable of artists, singers, right?
Yeah.
Who from different genres. So if you have a hip hop song, they've got that. If you got a country song, they've got someone to sing that. If you've got a cheesy yacht rock song like I'm liable to choose, they've got that. They've got all these different people from the background. And so I would send it over to them, and within a day or two, they would kick back the song, and I would listen to it. And if it was exactly what I was looking for, I'd be like, this is perfect. Or if not, I would send it back, and we'd go from there. So that's how it worked. Because I can't sing, but I've got this creative idea. I can come up with the lyrics. So they're able to marry it together, and then you have the proper production. And so then when I get the file, I'm able to play it.
Dude, this one, can you hear this? I was like, what the hell? The Bee Gees. I'm like, I heard this song. I don't know how this didn't become like one. There we go. Where did you run at, dude? There it is. There it is. Chad. Okay, Chad Doing is on, you guys. I forgot to mention this, but if you guys could share this again, this is epic, man. This
Dude,
content.
I'm so glad you played that. That was the funny thing is that was the second song I did, and I was trying to do something over the top that I knew Jim would probably think was
I think
absurd.
you succeeded.
Yeah, so I went in. My goal was not necessarily get to the end of the phone call. In fact, getting run was perfectly okay with me. I just was trying to come up with a song that was so over the top and outrageous that people would be like, "What the F is that?" And so I think I accomplished it. But I had so much fun with that one because I put the lyrics down, and when I got the song back, I played it for a couple of guys, and we were laughing our asses off because it's like, dude, that's ridiculous.
I'm like, did he actually sing that? Like, does Chad have a Bee Gees voice?
No.
And then now you just told me you broke. You should have just told me yes, because I would have had more respect for that. But no, that's great. So, like, the funny thing is, like, you send in the lyrics to this company that makes the songs, and they're probably like, what the hell is this? What are we doing? What kind of? This is not what we envisioned. This is not what I wanted to do.
Well, that was one of my favorite things is when I put the lyrics in, I would envision the singer having to sing things like, looking to tap another hoe or whatever. Like, they've got to laugh when they see some of the lyrics that's coming across their desk. Like, what in the world is this? Right?
Right.
But but they're fun in doing it. And like I said, my whole goal was I just was trying to have fun and entertain people. And that's part of where, I appreciate Rome so much because he encourages it too. Like if you come in with something that's, even if it's out of the box or a little unusual, if it brings, he understands entertainment value. So if you bring something that can add value or be, even if you get run, if it's talkable or something that's funny, then
right?
It's all about the entertainment, man.
Then you finally met your match, JD in Nashville.
Incredible.
Horse, you got it? Shimon. Is that all? I didn't give you the whole. Did I give you the whole song?
I'm calling you, Pimpin' Fox. What's up, J Stu? Yeah, the porn stash rocks. Shimon, come to my room, up to my dorm. I need 8 dudes for watching porn, and your throat alarm ain't nothing when I'm trying to get to you. I know Michael's bed is bumping. Can I bring magic too? Because I'm Chad. You know it. You know. There's a bird in the jungle right now, and I tell you once again, it's Chad.
The best part is Rome. Rome's reaction to this thing.
He laughed his ass off.
Oh my gosh, he couldn't contain it. It was like, because your parodies were actually like, they sounded professional. You could put it in a studio and put it on a CD or on Spotify.
Yeah, I remember where I was at when I heard that the first time, and I almost drove off the road. It was a classic moment. It was hilarious, and again, I appreciated it so much because of the creativity and still to this day. Here's how you know something's great. A great moment. Still to this day, I'll have people when I'm at Moda Center walking around, they'll be like, "It's Chad," or they'll say Shamon, and that's funny because it stands the test of time. And so that's one of those.
That was what, 2009, 2008 or something like that.
Yeah,
and dude, I sent you a text probably not long ago where I was like, "Dude, they're talking about you right now. You and JD right now."
Yeah,
that wasn't that long ago. I mean, it's still a topic in the jungle.
Yeah, and that's the great part is that it started out with a skirmish between me and another guy, and then someone else jumps in, and it becomes a bigger deal. So it's that was a great moment, and that JD call was creative. It made me laugh, and I mean, it's one of the all timers right there. I love it.
I don't even know. Did the guy even call ever again? Like, was that a one timer? I don't even know.
I think it's the ultimate one timer. I don't think he's ever called since.
Like,
isn't that great?
Like Jim's like he's like, let's go to JD in Nashville, and he didn't even like, hey Jim, what's going on? It was just like Shimona. Jeez Louise.
But how is that for a walk off? You come in, you're like, I can't top that, and he's left it alone. Like
you have to. You have to. He rode off in the sunset. Like that was my shining moment.
But what I like to do, like you had Brad and Corona on, just recently, right?
Yeah.
And he is one of my favorite callers of all. He is awesome. And I'll go back. I like to go to YouTube sometimes. My favorite call that he's ever made was the original call he made when he was going off on Doc Rivers' face and how George Bush wants to occupy Doc Rivers' nose and face. And then he got run at the end for talking about Phil Jackson playing all of his uncut Euros in games, in the game in Game 6 that back in Boston. But that call is so good that I'll go back and listen to it even now to this day after all these years, because just when I need a good laugh, I like to hear Brad's delivery and the call and stuff like that because it's so good.
Yeah, I mean, some of these guys you were going head to head with. Vic, still in the game. He's
and I've communicated with Vic. That guy's super cool, and he's obviously funny, talented, great caller. There's so many great callers over the years in the jungle, but Vic, pound for pound, is one of the best. Love him and Brad. They're both great.
Yeah,
hilarious.
Great. When I was stalking you yesterday,
yes,
I hit your Instagram up, and there's no denying that you are really big into your dog.
Yeah.
What's the dog? Schultz or Shots, right?
Shots, yeah, which is my daughter Kaylee named the dog. It's German for little treasure. And here's how this went down. I'm sure there's a lot of dads out there that can relate to this. I didn't want any part of a dog because I knew that I would end up taking care of the dog, right? Well, of course, Kaylee won out on that argument, and we got the dog. And now I'm no joking, man. Puppy Shots, we're like best friends. And she still likes to be like, hey, Dad, do you remember when you didn't want him? And so it's like, it's cool because I can't imagine not having my little buddy now. So I love having Puppy Shots. He's a miniature dachshund, great dog, very loyal, and it's awesome. So I was wrong. I needed the dog. I didn't know I needed the dog, but now I'm like, I understand why people love their dogs as much as they do because they're the best.
You just told my story. Same thing happened. My wife is like, we just need to get a dog. I'm like, we had dogs and we discussed after they died, we're not going to ever have dogs again. We're not going to do it. Hey, can we just go look? Let's just go look, please. Go look. And I was like, okay, so I agreed to just go look. And I had my mindset, we're not getting dogs. And then I met the little puppy that she wanted, and I was like, okay, all right. But then I look over in the corner, and the brother sitting in the corner by himself, like, you're gonna take my sister away from me? No, I'm not gonna I'm bringing you with, dude. So now we got two dogs, and now it's the love relationship between me and my dogs is like way like here's my wife's love for the. Yeah. There's a commercial on that recently. I think it's like a Subaru commercial or something, where the kids trying to talk a dad into getting the dog, and it's like next thing you know, he's at the beach throwing the ball at 20 years later.
I get it now. I understand people that do. I know a couple of people that have like rescue. They do like rescue missions where they take in, abused or neglected animals. Like I get it now. I totally get it. And, I'm on board with that 100%. And now I'm looking around. I noticed that think about how great dogs are, especially good animals, good pets. Is like think about some of the elderly, the widows, or the people that are alone. They have dogs, and think about the company that they get with that relationship there. Like it's pretty cool if you think about it. Yeah.
All right, you guys in the chat, give me ones if you have a dog. All right, I know. Like Horse, you're not invited to this conversation. He's a cat guy. We can't talk to these cat guys. All right, while we're stalking you, I also discovered something about you being a pinball record holder.
I am. I just went back to visit some family in Colorado a couple of weeks ago, and I grew up. We had a pinball machine in our house, and my uncle Gordon, I was visiting at his place in Colorado Springs. He also has a pinball machine in his house. I set the record, the 5-ball record on his machine like 30 years ago, and so every time I go there, I have to check the sheet that he has underneath the glass to make sure my name, my initials CMD are still at the top. I'm still ticked off that my cousin got the 1-ball record, and so he bumped me out, but I still hold the 5-ball record. So I like to take a picture of that every time I go to make sure I'm still there.
Horse, did I give you that photo to put on the wall? I'm on a delay. I'm sure I won't see it for 15 seconds. Okay, cool.
There we go.
And then Aaron Andrews was also in a photo with you. Was that
here's the deal with that. So I went down to cover this is when I was working at a different station here in town. We went down for a week to cover the national championship game for the 2010 season, Auburn and Oregon.
Yeah.
And so we went down for the full week. I went down with John Lund, who's now doing radio in San Francisco, and we were down there for the week. And so we're covering all the different events. And at Media Day, Erin Andrews, who was there covering the game for, ABC, ESPN, she was there at Media Day. And then John Lund approached her to interview her. And this is after everyone had exited the room. So it was just me and John and a couple other guys. And Erin was there. And he was asking her about, the stalking incident, where she was being recorded in that hotel room. And
a bold question.
Yeah. So she was talking openly about that. And so after he was done interviewing her, I got a chance to talk with her and meet her and took a picture with her. And, it's cool because I've always respected her, but she's one of the nicest individuals, much like Rome and some of these other people who talked about Napier. Great person to talk to, very encouraging. And for someone that has made a big time like her, she's very unassuming for someone in her role. So I respected the way she came across, but also when you get a chance to see the type of work that she puts into her job, like that, it's not just a pretty face. Like she works really hard to make sure that she does her job well. And she's had to, because she came up in an era where it was male dominated, right? So she had to be better because she knew she wasn't going to get the benefit of the doubt. And so I respect the grind and the work she's put in, but she was super cool. And she's beautiful.
So when I was growing up in Nebraska, I worked for a bank, and they gave the employees opportunities to go to the College World Series for free, but you had to sit in the general admission, right? So I always took it. One of the games I'd always go to.
Which, by the way, I've heard that I've been told I have not been, and I should have because Oregon State's been a couple times recently, but I've heard as a sporting event, it's one of the best that you can visit as a spectator.
Dude,
is that true?
The closest you could come to it is sitting in the bleachers at Wrigley. You're talking college students at a baseball game. I mean, it's great. The atmosphere is unbelievable. So I'm going to go to one of these games, and one of my coworkers is like, I know, hey, you're going to the game tonight, right? And I was like, yeah. And he goes, well, my grandma's got season tickets to the World Series. Do you want her tickets? They're better than what we're getting for free at work. It's like, sure. And so we're walking in. This is old Rosenblatt. This is not the new stadium.
Yeah.
So we're walking in, and I'm looking at the gates, and I'm like, okay, 102. That's behind home plate. That's right behind home. Okay, so we start walking in, and we start going down. Just kept walking down, and I'm looking at the rows. Row number 4, right? I don't know, maybe 3. We were really close, And my brother and I park our asses there, and all of a sudden, we're sitting next to all these like players with casts on, like the injured players from other teams were sitting next to us. Girlfriends, family members from all the players in the game. Freaking Erin Andrews comes up. I didn't know who she was at the time. She comes up, she starts interviewing a dude sitting behind us. I mean, we're talking, her ass was like in between me and my brother, like interviewing, like holding her microphone at this guy. And I was like, I couldn't forget the face, right? So yeah, later on, saw her on TV. I was like, that was her. ESPN, whatever it was. But yeah.
That's great. You saw her before she went big time.
I should have said something. You want to be on the Woodscopes, Aaron? The what? I don't even know. I don't even know what that is, but yeah.
I've got to get down there and check out a College World Series. That's
you have to.
They do it the right way. No, it's awesome.
It's a good atmosphere. Chad, you are a legend, a scholar. I mean, I love chatting with you. We got to do this again.
Oh, this is good. This is the way it should be. I love good conversation, and it's great to talk about stories and think back and remember some of those things. But it's good. It's good times. It's funny to think back, like, I can't believe I made that song and put that out on air. Like, it's funny. It's because as you get older, like, you look back at some things you did. Like, I can't believe I did that. But you did.
Dude, your grind is it's encouraging, man. I didn't expect that. I knew there was a grind, but like, two episodes in a row, you got the Grant Napier, you got Chad doing what you guys did, pun intended, maybe. And just, dude, it's encouraging, man. Because there's times I'm doing this Woodscopes, and I was like, do I really want to? I mean, it's a lot of work. No,
I'm telling you, now that you're on a different your better platforms and stuff, it's going to continue to grow. But no, it's so much better today. Just look back to your first one and look at what you're doing now.
absolutely.
Like, it's a totally different ball game. So what? I thought you were you in Sacramento at one time?
No.
You're in Wisconsin now?
Yeah, I live in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
I've been here the whole time doing Woodscopes. I got a twin brother who lives in Nebraska. That's how it started. The Woodscope started. He came to visit, and Periscope was a thing. And so we were camping out one night, and we decided we're going to use his phone to do the very first. Yeah, the very first Woodscopes wasn't on my account. It was actually my brother's account. And we decided to use my phone to call the clones and use his phone to do the Periscope. And that just like the momentum, it was like a snowball. It just kept getting bigger and bigger every time we did it. Wasn't planning on this, but dude, I had such a blast talking to people. And I don't care if no one shows up in the chat. It's just it's such an opportunity. It's great. I love it.
That's what's cool about the clones, though, is that they're spread out across the country, but we're all connected because we all know who that individual is, right? And what was cool when you put out the the notification that this show was going to happen tonight, I had other clones that I was unable to find on Twitter, like, some different people follow me and stuff, which is cool because it's like, oh, that's who that is. So, and then you can put a Twitter account with the name and then you can follow them and stuff like that. And I like that because it's a big family out there. A lot of clones, not just here in Oregon, but across the country. It's big time. And I like that.
Oregon has a pretty good following though. I mean, like, outside of Green Bay is going to be the biggest one. Just because I don't know why it is. I think that's all we can do. There. You guys in the West Coast could go out and play all year long. We have to sit inside and shiver and listen to Jim Rome show and play on Twitter. So,
well, I remember when Rome went out there, and I think this was like in '96. He did a tour stop, and then he ended up going to the playoff game, and he talked about how he was sitting in between a couple of big Green Bayans who kept him kind of warm during the game because it was cold. And I think this is when they played, like, I want to say Carolina in their second season as a team made it to the NFC title game. This is back when the Packers, when they went on to win the championship in '96. But he went out there, and I remember I think he had I want to say that who was that? Bill Plaschke. I want to say Plaschke was there, and you had Green Bay fans who were saying "oot oot oot" because they were disagreeing with Plaschke because he was making fun of them ice fishing and stuff like that.
Fishing,
but,
yeah. But that drinking ranch shots.
Yeah, ranch shots, because that connection with Green Bay has been there for a long time. But Portland, like, I remember I went to the original tour stop that was like at the Fridays front row next to the Rose Garden at the time, and that was back in '96. And then he came back again in '99 when he flew in on the helicopter, the military helicopter, like the Black Hawk, which was pretty sweet.
Yeah.
And then that one, the one he did before at the Fridays front row was a big crowd, but it was just the people who were inside the building. But the one out there at the that was out there in the airfield close to the airport when he flew in on the Black Hawk, there was like 20,000 people out there.
That was amazing.
I mean, I've never seen anything like it. And he walks out and he's got his fatigues on. He looked badass. So that was a
freaking rock star. It's like,
so he's been out here multiple times. So it's been cool to see him over the years continue to come out here and be a part of Portland, because I think it was one of his original. It's one of the affiliates that's been with him, the longest from the get go.
Yeah. Now, the station you work at now, are they a Rome affiliate or affiliate?
They're not. No, the Rome show is carried on the Alpha station 750 The Game here in town.
Gotcha.
And so I'm now working for a station that doesn't carry the Rome show. So I would I fit under the I think I would fit under the ban. I don't know if they'd let me on if I called in or not.
Oh, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. You call in next week, and I'm sure he'll be like, "Oh my gosh, Chad in Portland." I almost said doing Chad in Portland. Oh my, we go to the phone. Oh no, Alvy, am I reading this correctly? The Chad in Portland. Yeah, dude, totally would put you on in a heartbeat. Like the fact that he brings up the whole Chad in Portland, JD in Nashville bout every now and then, tells me that he totally would. I mean, he still puts my name on the show every now and then, after I tried to interview his son. That was like the big no. Don't ever do that. If you get an opportunity to interview one of Jim Rome's kids, don't do it. He doesn't like that.
No, don't mess with the family. Adults, don't mess with them. No, that's not a good play. But that's what's crazy.
22 years old or whatever. But
yeah, he's a grown man now. But the funny thing is that we, because we, a lot of people have been listening to it for so long. Like I can remember when his first son was born, right?
oh
And
my
now
gosh,
now they're older
yeah,
through
they're both
college.
in college now for sure.
Now one of them was out in Wisconsin, right? In Madison.
Yeah, I think Jake's in the Madison.
Yeah.
He's graduated. I think it's him and Jim and Janet just went to the last Badger home game just because it's going to be Jake's last one. I was like, dude, he's been in college for 4 years already.
Dude, how sweet is going to a game at Camp Randall?
I've never been to a game at Camp Randall.
I can't believe that.
I've been to Memorial Stadium in Lincoln a bazillion times. I can't imagine it's as good as that, but I heard it's awesome.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But have you been to a game at Lambeau? That's the big question.
I have not. I've been to multiple stadiums. I have not been at a game at Lambeau yet. It's on my bucket list. I definitely want to go. I've been to several stadiums. I finally went to the new Yankee Stadium for the first time a couple years ago. That was a terrific experience. Never made it to the old one. I wish I could have gone to the game at the old Boston Garden before they tore that down because Larry Bird's one of my all-time favorites.
Sure,
so I would love to have seen that. And I usually go back once a year to catch a Bronco game in Denver because I like going there. But yeah, Lambeau is legendary. It'd be great to go hang out with some of those Green Bands in there.
That's one of my favorite places to go. Horse, you sent me a text about the. Are we gonna mention the adult alarm? There it is.
Get your underoos on and get the hell out of here, McCall.
You couldn't get away with this today on syndicated radio on the FM dials. Put your back on. Oh my God!
You're right. That's the funny thing. If you go back and listen 20 years ago, like some of the things that were done on the show, just like in any radio show, wouldn't fly today.
No,
wouldn't fly.
Not at all. Thanks, Janet Jackson.
Yeah,
ruined it for everyone.
Put your underoos back on. Gosh, so good. So good.
There you go. You could call Jim Rome next week and just put that in the background, like quietly, so that only the clones would know what's going on.
But you know what was cool? Like I remember I listened to the whole show that day when Michael Jackson passed away, right?
Yeah.
And Rome handled that perfectly. They played Michael Jackson bumper music the whole day, and he did not bring up anything disparaging about Michael. He showed respect to a legend who had passed away. He handled it perfectly.
Yeah.
Bro.
The whole show he did? I wasn't.
He did. No, I listened to the whole thing. He handled it perfectly.
Oh my God.
I was impressed. I was like, dude, that's, he showed respect to a legend who had passed away and didn't, no adult alarm, no Macaulay, none of that stuff. No. But, that's life, right? Like, you and I grew up having conversations and calling our friends things that were in today's world, it's unacceptable. You just can't do it.
Oh yeah.
So you adjust and adapt over time. That's just how it goes.
I think back to some of those conversations I had in high school, and it's like, oh my gosh.
Or the things that even the conversations maybe with your girlfriend, like it's so many things that happened that 20 years ago. No.
No.
Time you don't know, but you learn and adjust. But that's because everyone's like, I get that a lot where people are like, Chad, you sound like you've changed over the years. I'm like, well, I hope so. I'm not, good. It's just like Jim has. Jim's not the same. He's not, he's still great, but he's not as aggressive and over the top as he was when he was younger. It happens with time. It doesn't mean you can't be better. It just means you adjust and you mature and different life experiences and everything.
If you ever get a chance.
You're different today than you were when you were 10 years ago.
Yeah, even 5 years ago. But you get a chance go into Stucknut and pull up the 2001 Smack Off champion Silk Bra. Dude, you that call straight through, and it's like, how did you even get through that call?
Incredible.
They should have shut that shit off in a minute, you know, like.
Yeah, because with Silk, like Silk was one of those callers where like I knew he was Boys of Rome. I never really liked his calls, but I have to admit that smack off call, I was waiting for him to come out and suck and get run, and he just, was like he just kept going, and I was like, hey, I think finally Silk Bra has delivered. That was money. He killed it.
He had to have been like, I don't know, man. It's like, I'm going for shock value today, guys. What do you think if I did this? It's just straight racism from start to finish. It's like, all right, I get it now. I get it. He got the shock value in. It's so funny.
I met, I think it was Mill Valley, but I don't know if he still calls or not. But there was a guy. His name was Greg, and I think he was from Mill Valley.
Greg in Sun Valley.
Sun Valley. He talked to a voice box, right?
Yeah. Sun Valley.
Yeah, Sun Valley. Greg in Sun Valley. Well, I ended up getting connected with him and had a chance to talk to him, and he did some liners for me and stuff with his voice box, which it was like a thrill for me because he was so cool, and the voice box and the way he communicated sounded so great. And so I've got those on one of my portable hard drives somewhere, but I saved those because I was like, dude, Greg, you're awesome, man. This sounded great. But he was cool. Yeah, Greg and Sun Valley.
Yeah, I've heard so many people say that about him. I never met him, but he's one of those people I never did get on the Woodscopes, but
no, he was great because he delivered like the way he would deliver like Chad in Portland, and it was like, just
Chad
unique.
in Portland. Yep.
Yeah. So it was cool. I had a chance to meet him, and I really enjoyed that. But the funny thing is that you never know, with radio, like even with what you're doing now, you'll have people come up to you years from now and be like, hey, Woodscopes, I was watching that one show when you did this. Things that you forgot about that you don't even know about.
I do
that
get that.
resonate with people, and they'll remember it, and they'll ask you about it.
Yeah, sometimes.
That's a cool thing.
I forgot that I actually interviewed now I can't remember his name. Eric in Falls Church. I don't know if you remember that name or not, but he was on the Woodscopes, and I totally forgot that he was on. Like I remember I had a good conversation with the guy, but someone was like, "Oh yeah, you interviewed." I was like, "I did." Oh yeah, I did. Yeah.
He seems like a cool guy. How cool was he?
I honestly can't remember. I mean, he was. I just remember he was fun to talk to, and like he approached me like, "Wait, is this Eric and Falls, the real one?" Like, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't, because sometimes you get people pretend to be somebody, like someone will call in and say, "Oh, this is so and so," and dude, at one point I was doing all of my shows on the same phone number, and it got to the point where it's like these guys would call in and just hang up, beep, like in the middle of an interview. All you could hear during the Woodscopes, beep, beep, beep. I'm like, stop it, So when Rome was on, he actually called my wife's phone because no one had that phone number, and it was nuts. But
that's good. No, I've had a chance to meet some. I've become good friends with Travis Rogers over the years, and
cool.
He's doing radio work on the ESPN station down there in LA. So he's doing very well for himself. But I tried to get him hired on at the station I was working at in Portland probably about 10 years ago, and it just never materialized. But he and I become friends over the years, and I love the opportunity to get a chance to talk to him because I've learned, like, he's really smart and he knows the business really well, and I've learned a lot from him. But what's cool now is I can reach out to him, like after the Dodgers won the World Series, anything that happens big in LA, which is on a regular basis, I'll reach out to him and be like, hey, can you come on the show or whatever? And I always enjoy talking to Travis because he, he's just a cool guy.
He's got stories, really cool. I'm sure.
He's got stories, and he's last time I had him on was after Vin Scully passed away, and so cool to hear Trav, who grew up in that area, sharing stories about driving around as a kid, listening to Vin Scully, and being a Dodger fan, and what that voice meant to him, and how Vin had a way of bringing people together with the way he would call games, and the way the Dodgers were kind of that unifying force down there in LA. And to hear what that meant to Travis and to have him explain it was really neat, because you knew that it meant something to him. And Vin Scully was, like you grow up in LA, like Travis said, he goes, I wanted to be Vin Scully, because he was a life figure who was but yet so humble and so down to earth and cool, and you could communicate with him easily.
The Royals have a guy like that, Denny Matthews, who's been around probably almost as long as Vin Scully, and to the Royals fans, not the Royals is not big market, so not everyone's gonna know who he is, but anyone who's in the Kansas City area knows this guy, and it's the same thing. You hear his voice, and it's like a time machine. You could hear him in the middle of non-season, and he's like, "There's Danny Matthews," and it's like, "A freaking baseball's on," like that's how you feel about it. And I know exactly how. I mean, when Scully died, it was like that people were freaking losing their shit.
Dude, the Royals, no joke. Your beloved Kansas City Royals, that's the first sports team that brought tears to my young Chad eyes in the 85 World Series with the Dinkinger call and the Cardinals getting robbed. It destroyed me because I wasn't accustomed to losing, or I didn't really have an understanding at a young age of what the concept of losing was, and that was a painful loss to see the Cardinals go down. Because I grew up
Cardinals, dude.
Yeah, because I grew up in Oklahoma. The closest team was to where I was at was the Cardinals. And so Whitey Herzog and Vince Coleman, all those guys. So that 85 World Series that you guys won was incredibly painful for me. Brutal.
Wait a minute. I'm looking for Royals. I have a million Royals hats. I can't find one of them right now. The St. Louis is closer to Oklahoma than Kansas City is?
Well, they're both about the same. But
Yeah.
my papa he listened to Cardinal games on the radio, so I was influenced that way.
He listened to the original Buck.
Yeah.
Was it John Buck?
Jack Buck.
Jack Buck, that's right.
Yeah. Where's your Royals hat at, man?
Dude, I have a million. Here's one right here. I have a million of them. I just can't. Now that I live in Wisconsin.
Oh, that's a nice hat.
I see these at the stores, and it's like I just gotta buy it. I have a million Brewers hats too. But let me ask you another question. In this field that you're in, do you ever get an opportunity to sit down with a Stanley Cup?
I did. One time, thanks to the Boston Bruins, one of their executives lives in the Portland area, and Don Lovell, who is local baseball prodigy, who's older now, owns a business in town called The Barbers. I'm good friends with him, and he said, "Hey, what would you think about having the Stanley Cup come by the studio?" I'm like, "I'm in, 100%."
Yeah, right.
They arranged one day to have the Cup come in, and I got to hang out with the Cup the entire 3-hour show, and it sat there next to me on the desk in the studio. And dude, it's exactly what people say it is. They have the dude. There's this dude that wears like a black jacket. He looks like he's Secret Service, and he wears these white gloves, right?
Yeah.
And he carries it around in a briefcase, and he would open it up, and he would pull it out of the case, and then he would put it on the desk, and he was like the keeper of the Cup. And like if you were trying to do anything wrong to the Cup, this guy would break your neck. I'm certain of it. But it was really cool to be able to hold the Cup and to see it. And it's the most impressive trophy you can imagine. It's gigantic. It's very heavy, and it's really neat to see the engraved names that are on the Cup. And I was in awe of the Stanley Cup. I was like,
eventually
wow.
They're just gonna have to start carving on the inside of the Cup. I know they keep adding layers, but I mean, like, how you can't travel with the thing if it's as big as a house. You know what I mean? Like,
gosh, that was really cool. Like, I get it now. You see the Stanley Cup, and I was in when I was in Colorado during the summertime, I went to some Dodgers Rockies games. I went to a set, and this was shortly after the Avalanche had won the Cup. And one of the days I was there, they just happened to bring the Cup to the baseball game. And dude, like, to see the guys hanging out, they're up in the suite, kicking back some beers, and they got the Cup. You can see the pride and the pleasure and what it means. The Stanley Cup is unique, unlike anything else in sports.
Yeah, I would love to see that someday. But dude, honestly, what are the odds that I had this video on my phone?
Yeah, that's the one. I was at that game. Yeah.
Well, I stole this from your Instagram.
Okay.
But I was talking to Haunted Horse. I was like, is Chad on the field, or is he filming this? So you're obviously filming that.
I just filmed it. I was just there as a fan, checking out some baseball, and I saw the Cup, and it's that's a grind of a season. Those hockey players and what they go through, and to get to that point and to win the Cup, it's there's few things like it in sports, and mad respect for those guys. I played pickup hockey in Colorado when I was younger, because we had this place called Evergreen Lake that would freeze over in the wintertime, and you could go there to go ice skating, and then on one side of the lake they would have it roped off to where you could play pickup hockey.
Yeah.
And so and we weren't wearing pads or helmets or whatever. Like it was a pretty rough game, but when you do that and then you see the way they skate and how fast
Yeah.
they are and the agility and how tough they are, it's like you
I
just
love
kind of
hockey. I wish I could get more into hockey, but yeah, I remember the first hockey game I went to. There was a small hockey team in Lincoln, Nebraska. It was 16, 17-year-old kids. And I was like, okay, I'll go because I got free tickets. Same company I used to work for that gave me the World Series tickets. I remember going to that game, and it's like within like 4 seconds of it, I'm like, this game is awesome. You know what I mean? Like I went to as many games as I possibly could back then, but oh my gosh, yeah, hockey it's you got to respect those players for sure, for sure.
There's no doubt. One of my favorite things to do when I was working down in the Bay Area, I was there when the Sharks made it all the way to the Stanley Cup Finals.
Yeah.
And so to be there inside of the Shark Tank, for some of the games throughout the playoff run in the Western Conference Finals, like the atmosphere and the intensity level at which they play, like, hockey's one of those things where even if you're not a fan of hockey, go to a live event and watch them in person. Hockey is so much better in person than it is on television. Like football, in a lot of cases, it's better on TV. It's like the perfect television product. But hockey, it's better to be there in person because you can see everything happening in front of your eyes because you need to see the whole rink and what's going on.
You have
right?
to. Yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah. You got two guys hitting each other with their sticks on the other end of the ice while the action's over here and the cameras are facing over here. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, I think it's a better product in person. And so, Portland, we've been, they've got the Winterhawks from the Western Hockey League, and they've had a good following and great fan support for years. But we've always hoped that we would get an NHL team, and we've had our chances in the past. Before Paul Allen passed away, I think it was Paul who kind of put the kibosh on that because I think what he was concerned about is if he were to allow another, pro sports franchise to come into town using his same arena in a smaller market like Portland, I think he was afraid that it would be competition with the Trailblazers for those, corporate dollars and stuff. And so I think that's why it never really happened. It's unfortunate because the Moda Center is a great hockey venue, and it would have been great to have, another team in town, especially hockey, that you could go and check out those games because, it is like once you get hockey in your town, you start going, it doesn't take long for people to fall in love with it. Like Seattle.
Seattle's got one now. They're cracking.
Yeah. The thing is, like, we hate Seattle down here because Seattle, they look at us like we're the redheaded stepchild, right? And we always lumped in and was like, no, screw you. We're not Seattle. We're our own town with our own identity and our own history. Like, we hate getting lumped in with Seattle. And they look at us like we're a second-class city. And in some ways we may be, but we don't want Seattle to talk about Portland at all. And it's not the same. But if you got a chance, if you're ever out on the West Coast, you got to go check out a Kraken game because they do that first class, and the renovations and everything they've done with Climate Pledge Arena is unreal.
I do have to get out there sometime. That would be fun.
Just a matter of time until Seattle gets another NBA team, and they'll be back in biz.
I feel like I've kept you way too long, but there was one thing I would regret if I didn't ask you about.
Let's do it.
Recently saw a video or something where you had to owe Boston an apology.
I did. So what happened is that Brian Noe, who I worked with, he's on Fox Sports Radio, and he was doing a local show here in town. He, I thought Tom Brady was done, right? And I told him I said it is not possible that the Patriots are going to go into Kansas City and win a road playoff game against the Chiefs. Remember a few years ago when that epic AFC championship game that went into overtime? All of his success had come at home, so I didn't think they were going to win at Kansas City. So we made a wager where I had a list of punishments that I had to complete if the Patriots made it to the Super Bowl, and of course they did. And so that included me having to sing a love song to Tom Brady, which I did, which was terrible. I had to burn an Elway jersey. I did that.
No.
I had to write on a whiteboard in the office, I will not use the word impossible again, like every day after work. And then I had to write an apology letter to Tom Brady and Bill Belichick and the Patriots. And then because I was working for I was doing some work for the NBC Sports Northwest, they put it out to NBC Sports Boston. And so it got a lot more run than I would have preferred. So that was part of the punishment. I hate that because as a Bronco fan,
Did
and
you
I
have to
used
wear a
to,
mustache, or what was the mustache about?
I had to grow a mustache.
There
Yeah,
it was.
and I tend to be I'm cautious of what I eat, and part of the punishment was I had to eat a hot dog every day for 2 weeks,
Oh
and
man,
so it
that's
was,
not punishment. That's
for me it was awful. But I did it, and I paid off everything. I even had to do yoga poses on TV at the end of the show, so wearing like a Patriots jersey. So I like what happens often. You know this as a dude. It's like your mouth gets the best of you sometimes. Like, oh, whatever, man. I got that. Yeah, I'm in. Let's do that bet. No
Yeah.
way. I'm probably going to win
Yeah.
this. And you get blasted.
Oh, it's always that last game in the parlay. You got 4 of the 5 right, and then the last
And
game,
you get totally
they,
blasted.
all you have to do is make that extra point.
It's pretty much one of those things
And
where,
you miss it.
yeah, anytime a guy says anything along the lines of like, hey, watch this, or I got
Yeah.
this, it means they're about to just implode, right?
Yeah. I don't know if you remember that NFC Championship game between the Packers and the Seattle Seahawks a few years ago.
I do. That
My
was
father-in-law and I were celebrating like we were going to go watch the Super Bowl.
down in Zona.
5 minutes later, we were crying. It was bad, but yeah,
That was rough.
I get it. You don't celebrate before it's over. Chad, I love you, man. Thanks for doing this. I'm sorry I kept you longer than I anticipated, but dude, that was a great conversation.
I love it, man. Anytime. Happy to come on, and it's great to be a part of the Woodscopes family. But you guys are the best, man. Haunted Horse and 12 Wood. Thanks for the time, man. Anytime.
And
dude, you're killing it, man. This
I
is not
appreciate
like my first experience, dude. You're on top of this now.
Oh, I appreciate it. You are the man. Chad, you could exit whatever you want, but you are the man. Thanks for doing this. We got some other stuff coming up soon. Chad, you guys follow Chad on Twitter, Instagram. He is Chad in Rip City. I know it used to be Chad Doing, but now it's Chad in Rip City, if I'm not mistaken. Horse, correct me if I'm wrong there.
Yeah, the Rip City Drive.
No, his Twitter handle.
Oh, give me effort.
I've tagged him. So go to my pinned tweet. Go look for him. He's a good follow. He's always got some funny stuff. Dude, the guy's talented. He is ultra mega talented. I mean, he does a lot of, I mean, he could be funny, he could be serious, he could be like his sports knowledge when I listened to his podcast today and I was like, dude, this guy he just keeps going and going. A lot like our dude Grant Napier last week. We have some other things going on in this episode. We don't have much longer, but who's all here? Give me ones if you're still listening to me right now. Ryan's here. Let's get someone in here, and you guys know how you like to do those what do you call those TikTok reaction videos. Horse has queued up some, and he's gonna queue up some. I'm sorry, Horse, to put you on the spot like that. But
no,
okay,
I'm efforting. Hold up, I gotta find the link for.
It just says Restraint Bot 512. You could come in, send my brother one.
Hold up. I'm trying to get my link first. Hold up.
Oshkosh Tyler, go pack go, he says, but are you wanting to come in, Tyler? Jim in Indiana. Janice here. Anyone who wants to come in, I guess stop pressing ones now and press, let's just switch to 2. Press 2 if you want to come in and do the reactions with us. Because any of you guys, we could do 10, 15, 30, 80 people. Let's do it.
Hold up. Let me get links out to people.
Haunted 00 Horse.
All right, hold up. I'm trying to multitask and I'm doing everything horribly right now. There we go. Let me get
they're
that.
telling me I'm way behind. What if I refresh? I'm going to refresh my YouTube.
Hold up.
Because
All
it did
right.
glitch out for a moment there.
Who'd you say? Lumber?
Whoever wants one.
Who wants a link? Look in the chat. What'd you say? 1 or 2s? What does that
2s
mean?
if they want it. So Ryan wants one.
Ryan wants one.
Jim in Indiana.
Ryan. Who's Ryan in Sacktown? Do we know him?
He's kind of a nerd.
Oh,
he's
Jim's
one of those
coming in. Jim was on while you were camping. Jim in Indiana came on the train wreck.
He was on the last time we had a train wreck.
Yeah, but he was actually he started at the start of the show. He was
the
co-host. Hold up, I'm looking for.
Ryan in Sacktown sends me a text and he says I look way clearer. Yeah, dude. You know what's funny, Ryan? before the show, I just started looking at the Zoom settings. Apparently, there's a standard definition and a high definition, and mine was on the standard definition. So, Horse, can you maintain the show for like I don't know a minute and a half?
I
by
can.
yourself?
I'm waiting for our
All right,
peeps to get in here.
Host of the Woodscopes for a couple minutes.
I was taking a pee while you were wrapping up with Chad. I was hoping you didn't like, hey, Horse, do something. I was listening.
All right, hold on.
All right. I'm finding our videos. I guess I'm holding down the show, right, kids? Hey, Grant Napier, what do you think of the Woodscopes?
If you don't like that, then you don't like the Woodscopes. Oh, boy.
Damn right. If you don't like that, you don't like the Woodscopes. What's up, everyone? Welcome to the potty break. Yeah! Who's going to the bathroom?
12 wood.
Who's going to the bathroom?
12 wood.
All right, we got a Ryan, which means I got to resize again. Let's see. Get your ass in here. We got the chair sitting there. There's Jim. I'm still trying to get, there we go. Where's my TikToks? There it is. All right, hold up.
There's Jim.
Got to pause that. There they is.
Hey.
Hold up, I got to move the boss. He's got the special green screen.
There they is.
Someone's got their audio on. Who's listening to the show? Turn the show down.
Come on, Jim.
Turn the show down.
Jim! There we go. Good man.
All right.
That might have been me.
That was you. That's all right. We'll allow it.
I had it on the.
So how many people I got in here? I got 4. Hold up. I got to move the boss down to where Ryan is because he's got the space.
Before we need to, before we do this, how do you guys feel about what do we call it? Hijacking the Potatoes and Outlaws show right now? Because I love Moda, but I hate that we're on at the same time.
You know what? Real quick, 12 Wood, when you were wrapping it up with Chad, the Blazer game in Phoenix tied 101-101 with like 37 seconds to go. I could tell he was like looking at the screen like
he's like, yeah. Oh yeah. I'm like, oh, he actually likes what I said. No, he was watching basketball.
Yeah, well, he's got a post-game show to do. Looks like the Blazers won 108-106, so he will be doing the post-game show in about 30 minutes.
He got Woodscopes karma is what he did.
That's what he did.
I think mock mode is over because I don't see anything on top of my Twitter feed.
Don't forget mock moda. Hold on.
Yeah, it was fading out. That's why I came over here.
Oh, what do you mean? You were there first?
Of course.
Yeah.
Explain yourself, dude.
All our viewers were over there.
Before we kick him out, Horse, let him explain himself. No, I'm joking, dude.
I had a poem.
Jim might have some. Jim likes to hop around. He sleeps around. He goes to all the shows.
Dude, clean your dick off, man.
Baby wipes.
I could smell that from here. Sleeping around as much as you do, dude. Shit.
We are gonna do TikToks. Is that what we're doing?
I guess we are. Did Lumber's not coming in? What's going on?
Well, he didn't give me a 2.
Lumber, are you not giving 2s? Who else didn't give 2s?
Ain't nobody looking at the chat. Yeah, we're looking at the chat. What the fuck, Horse? Who wants in?
No invite here.
Tyler's acting like he wants in.
That was from.
Tyler, there he is. He wants in.
Pulldock wants in, dude. Get Pulldock in here.
We're gonna get everyone in here.
What's in?
Tyler wants in.
You can't have TikToks without the doc.
Right.
How about Chad in Portland? That was my first time being exposed to him like that. That guy, good people.
Cool, man. Every time I talk to that guy, it's good stuff. Dude, I felt bad like the first time when I was doing Woodscopes back in the day, I did this episode where it's the affiliate night. And I went around the country looking for I did a poll on Twitter first. Like,
is that a toothbrush?
It's a pen.
Oh.
I did a poll with all the clones. What station do you listen to get Jim Rome? and I took the top 5, and I found someone who worked at that radio station from all 5. I had Marcus Eversole from WDZ here in Green Bay. I had Peter Sampson over in. Is he in Portland too?
Yeah, he's Portland. Mm-hmm. He's
Peter
the one that set up
Sampson.
our watch party for the 25th.
I had. Do you guys remember Dan Cilio was on that night? Jim Rome used to be on his podcast every week, or even every morning. I think Jim Rome was on his podcast. He used to play. He played football for the Miami Hurricanes during the national championship year. And he, speaking of Erin Andrews, like they got like she sued him one time. It was pretty bad. Hey, what do you think of my new graphic? Huh? That's from my campfire last week when I went camping. I took a slow motion video and I added my little.
We're getting there.
Okay, you'll see it here. But anyhow, Chad was. I was talking to Chad. I was like, "Dude, you want to be on affiliate night?" And he's like, "Sure, yeah, I would be happy to." And I started doing the research, and I found out that he is not an affiliate. So I had to tell him, "Sorry, can we get you on a different night?" Like the biggest dick, like this blue chip guy. He says he's going to go on my little geeky little podcast or Periscope show, and I was like, "Hey, yeah, can we get you on a different?" Like I couldn't put him on when it was affiliate night, and that was back in the day when Jim used to watch the Woodscopes too. But yeah, so Chad came on weeks later. Horse is ignoring me. I got a text from my brother saying Horse is ignoring me.
I didn't know Lumber wanted in.
Told you, dick face. Sorry about that.
I got Bulldog. I got Tyler. Did I
send?
No, I sent him one. No, that's an old one. Never mind. That's from October. It's not that I'm ignoring anybody. I'm literally hitting 3 screens and trying to move things around. I can't read the chat.
Oh, I gotta change my. I'm
trying to get the look of the aesthetic of the show.
Can we start a GoFundMe to get Horse a third arm?
So who's Assfucker 3000? Because they want in.
That's my brother, dude. Put him
on. Well, I want to make sure.
Yeah. You ever see that video of like when in 2020 when the courts were all closed, so all the
yeah.
This guy comes into court and he's like, the judge goes,
he got kicked out.
Who is Assfucker 3000? What's up, Lumber?
Bruh.
Come on.
Horse freaking ignoring the shit out of me. And Tyler, by the way. Tyler wants in.
Hey, Pulldock, you've got an invite, dude. Let me double check, make sure, but I'm pretty sure I sent
Pulldock responds with, yeah, dick face.
Pulldock, you got one. It's in your DMs, dude. Get your ass in here. Can't have TikTok.
Tyler's in. This is the greatest moment I've ever had in the show.
Oh yeah, dude.
I'm mad that Mock Mode is done with his show though. I wanted to hijack and get all of us in there at once via Woodscopes. That would have been cool.
That would have been pretty funny.
I was gonna
testing mic check 1 2 1 2 mic check. Hesties.
Who's the immature guy?
Tyler.
Oh, that's my brother. Okay, cool.
Hi guys.
Does everyone know each other?
Hi.
Let's go around the room. Let's all say our names one time. Starting with the guy in the upper right. That's Jim. Go ahead. What's your name?
Jim.
What's
Jim
your
in
handle?
Indiana.
What's your handle on the twits?
At Violent JMC.
All right, follow him, and then the second prettiest guy in this room, right below him. What's your name?
Tyler.
No,
that's Tyler.
No, that's you.
Directly below him. Oh, okay. Yeah, 512 Lumber. AKA Lumber. Lum.
And then below him,
Ryan.
The guy in the Green Bay shirt. What's your name and what's your Twitter handle?
That's Osh Tyler. We'll see you in Oshkosh soon.
Are we doing a jungle tour stop on Sunday next week?
Possibly.
Let's do it.
Where's Bulldog?
I'm waiting on him.
Yeah, where is Bulldog?
Who's the guy who's the guy in the upper left hand corner?
On it, double horse.
That was Horse.
Do I hear Bulldog?
That was Horse.
That was Horse. Okay, that's a recording of Pool Dog. The guy below him, that's me, 12 Wood. Follow me on Twitter. I'm 12 Wood. And then the guy below me,
Rhino in Sacktown.
Rhino.
What's up, boys?
Actually, Sack. I think we'll call you Sack.
So in this video, Horse, I'm going to give you some instructions.
Where are you, dude? I sent him a link.
Come on, Doc. I got it ready.
Hell, I see him saying, "Hell yeah, Tyler,
Bulldog doesn't
what's
DM.
up, Bulldog?"
Just text it. Can you text him?
I'll send it to
Janet.
How do you not DM,
Janet.
dude? You got Twitter but no DM? Come on, man.
All right, Jana, you got a link. Get your husband in here.
Horse, if you haven't figured this out yet, there's not many here because I just did this last night. But every time you see a Woodscopes logo, you either have to pause it or
got it.
Play.
No worries. We actually played this when you were camping. I put some together.
Did you?
I did.
You didn't like just go to TikTok and hope you find some videos because that turned out well.
No, go.
Jana said she doesn't want it, Horse. I could read that in the chat.
I don't want it.
Hey,
well, no, I'm
us.
giving her the link so she can get her husband on here.
Bulldog, tell us how you want that link sent to you. We'll get it to you.
He wants me to drive it down there.
He wants a
He wants a smoke signal.
Well, make sure it's on Texas time when you send it.
Yo,
Both
12.
husband and spouse
What's
have
up?
a link.
Who said that? Was that
12. The campfire in the background looks
Yeah.
like a wizard in a man bun going like this. What up, fool?
Oh, I do see it now. Look at the eyeballs.
Yes,
Holy-
the eyeballs.
The beard.
That's scary. It's creepy. That's creepy.
Puldoc, are you going to click on your link or not?
Wait, what happened to Chad? Who's that? The team chat. I don't know who the team chat is. That someone's name? Is the team chat? What's
No,
up,
team
the team
chat
chat?
is how I talk to the guest. Oh, no, team chat. I know who that is. That's the Waterhole account. So that would be Rhino.
Oh, Rhino said, what happened to Chad? Were you watching?
Chad's got to do the Blazer post-game show.
Let's hijack that. Can we hijack that?
He said he does it 15 or 45 minutes after the game is over. So I don't know that he's going yet. But let me 6:20.
Boy, oh boy, we playing this. Let's do one without Pool Doc.
All right.
I need to smoke.
Is Pool Doc coming in though? Oh, I need to smoke signals first.
Smoke
I sent you a
signals
link,
first,
bro.
okay. Pool Doc.
Hold up, I want to hear if.
I'm playing from the chat. Okay, so Pool Janet is gonna play, but we have to make sure I read because I'm not good at that. You guys know that. I suck at reading the chat.
All right.
Hey, Tyler.
So are we
Tyler, on
playing
the
the
count of
first
three,
one?
act like you get hit on top of the head. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3.
That's horrible.
Jeez.
Oh, you did. Oh, delayed reaction.
What the hell happened?
Jeez.
Are we playing the first one or are we waiting? Mr. Boss.
We got to grow up here.
Let's play one. I don't know. Is Pool Dog coming? Pool Dog?
12 wood.
Send the smoke signal.
Rhino in Sacktown.
Hey, James.
Horse.
All right, let's play.
Yeah, we did that 1, 2, 3 better, Lumber. Let's do that again. I think I got
Okay,
this.
ready? 1,
Yeah.
2, 3. Oh, it's probably delayed too.
Fuck! What the hell hit my head? Can you hand me a beer, actually, from up there?
That would be fun.
We could do the Brady Bunch bit with
I don't have
this
a beard.
little squared off thing.
Beers are-
The
Here we go.
Brady.
Well, can you hand me? Oh, yeah, okay.
all right,
I think
Horse.
I'm ready for it. Wait,
You ready?
wait. Okay.
Oh, I got to do it
I'm
again.
ready
Okay,
for it.
ready? 1,
Wait.
2,
2,
3.
3. I got it. I think I got it.
All right.
Yeah,
Here
I
comes
got
the
it.
first
Thank you.
one.
I want to thank Lumber and Osh for bringing the content.
Whoa.
What happened there?
Frog on his arm.
It jumps in its mouth. The kid's mouth.
Oh, poor
biting
kid.
him.
I mean,
Tyler,
the jump in
what
the
happened?
mouth, as soon as you said it, I'm like, yeah.
Well, what happened was Lumber gave me a beer from the internet, and then all of a sudden I heard screaming.
Should we do it again?
Yeah, one more time.
Okay, ready? Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, it's a frog in my throat. That's what the sound is.
From Jane Humboldt. Jana says, "I'm playing from." Okay, frog jumps in the kid's mouth. All right.
That's my.
We may have seen this. We may have seen this video.
It just seems obvious.
The frog
Can't play more because he created all the videos on TikTok.
Frog jumps on the kid's head.
On his face.
That was a nose, I think. A nose. Was it a lip? We need a good pause.
It was
there,
between the lip and the mouth. So whoever said that.
There it is.
There it is.
Ew.
That's awesome.
He's gonna have warts.
That should be someone's Twitter profile right there. The frog in the mouth ish.
I'm gonna make that my new ringtone.
What's up, Pool Doc?
I gotta find where to stick the pool.
Put him over me. I don't care.
Hold up. I just gotta shrink people down here.
Well, I can do that too.
Put him underneath the kid's nose.
Jay might be coming in, so if Jay comes in, then he goes above us.
We won't have anyone in the chat except for Jana. Jana's gonna be the chat. We're all in here.
I can hand this beer down to Pool.
Wait.
I think
Wait. Jay, do you have a beer or a soda or something?
That's fine. Hey,
Jay, you want to hand me a soda?
Pool Doc.
Man, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, Pool Doc, can you hear me? Pool Doc, do you smell that? That's Jim's dick.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness.
It's funny. Matt is sitting right below.
Tyler, here we go, Tyler.
Lumber sitting right below Jim. So if you smell him,
Pool Doc, pay attention here, bud. Okay, you're gonna reach up and grab a beer.
Raise your right hand. Raise your right hand.
I don't think I can play because I'm way behind, man. Somehow I'm way behind you guys. But
no, you're not.
Please want 512 to hand me a beer or something. I can't watch it live. Hold on.
You got to watch
this. Figure it out, man. I'm way behind.
Listen, we're gonna count it off. You got to guess. All right, Tyler. 1, 2, 3. There's your beer. Did I go low enough? I didn't.
Jeez, what the hell?
Pool Doc, catch that.
Play the next video, dude.
Wait, where did Pool Doc go?
Yeah, it disappeared.
He was way behind. All right.
I don't think he liked the beer.
He's killing me with the.
I don't think he liked the beer.
Who am I missing? Beer okay, so I'm not.
He's like, I'm an IPA guy.
Here we go.
Yeah,
all right, next video.
Mouth. Okay, next video. Let's go.
Jeff, I'm gonna throw you your green hammer.
Wait.
Oh, between the balls for sure.
Oh yeah.
The balls hits the balls. They say.
Oh, between the balls.
Yeah.
Catch. Oh wait, I gotta throw it this way, don't I? Ready, 12 wood? Catch it.
Turn the other way. I don't know which way to look.
Other direction.
Did you throw yet?
Wrong way. All right, you ready? One. I'm gonna throw it to you. Gotta turn around. I don't know how you're gonna throw it to yourself.
Yeah, you got to catch it on the other side, but
12 wood. Turn around, bro.
All right.
There you go. There you go.
3, 2, 1.
Catch.
Oh, gee, well, look at
that. Oh, wow. I changed it.
Holy smokes, that's funny.
This is the train wreck.
All right. What happened in the video?
We guessed it, right? So
well, I think he got it in the nuts. He
got it in the
nuts. He got it in the nuts.
It's definitely not the ball in the nut video for sure.
With the dick. Got it in
Hold up. There's Jay.
All Jay's in now.
And with this many clones in one Zoom call, there's got to be a nut shot somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Nuts. All right.
Jay, if you smell anything, that's Jim's balls.
Oh, my goodness.
Why did my balls become the subject of this show?
These nuts.
When you're sleeping with all the others.
Oh, dude, that was close.
He missed
Just when he
it,
thought
and
he
then
was
it
clear.
got him again.
Where do you find a tube like?
Stylish.
Oh, dude, that was close.
Oh,
Yeah.
good night.
Oh, dude, that was close.
No.
Close. Oh, dude, that was close. That was close.
I'm gonna make that my ringtone.
There you go.
Without opposite reaction, there's the action. I have no idea. I don't know the laws of physics, but you know,
The laws of
circles
physics
and-
is if your legs are spread open, you're gonna get knocked in the nuts. So keep your legs closed.
It increases the gravity.
Twist his dick.
We ready for
All right,
number 3?
Go ahead. Look at that logo. Look at that. Look at that. That's
20,000 damn bitches on the island. 20,000 damn bitches gonna.
Pay attention. It said.
Oh, somebody's gonna come out and grab the handlebar.
Oh,
Damn bitches on the island. 20,000 damn bitches gonna.
Someone called it and said that
20,000
someone's
damn
gonna get
bitches gonna.
smoked. I'll go with that. Someone's gonna get hit.
Someone's getting smoked. He said.
Somebody's grabbing the handlebar.
Yeah, something goes in
Compromising.
spokes, and he goes flipping over it.
Oh, that would be funny too.
Right?
Grabbing the handlebar.
Oh wait, we gotta give the chat. Jen.
Grabbing his dick.
That'd be the two pool people because the rest of us are in here.
Janet.
Janet.
That was horse.
Let's see. Bulldog laughs. Sincerely, Josh Primo. Who's that? I don't know. Josh Primo. Do I know Josh Primo?
Josh cousin?
Who? Who's Josh's cousin? Anyhow.
Josh Primo.
Jay, do you have a guess on what happens to the cyclist?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, yeah, there we go. Yeah,
Jay's
I
answer
think
is
the
he grabs
handlebar
a
gets
bunch of
grabbed.
mushrooms and eats them.
All right, play it.
Sorry, Jay, I
think
talked over you. All right, here we go.
Wait, someone throws trash at them. Okay, that's from Pool Jana. Janet. All right, here comes. Here's the answer. Here's the answer.
20,000 damn bitches on the island. 20,000 damn bitches gone private. She make it bad.
Oh,
20,000 damn bitches gone private.
Oh, excuse me. I thought
She
this
make
was
it.
a crosswalk.
She make it.
She thought she had.
She make it clap.
Dude, she hit her head hit the ground so hard.
Yeah, those two felt that.
She was not wearing a helmet.
His
She's not practicing.
reaction, if you could pause it while he's halfway to the ground, he's like dumbfounded to the point where he's not even gonna throw his hands up to stop himself. He's like, I'm just gonna go to the ground.
There?
Do this. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think he had time.
Oh, he used her to break the fall. He
Yeah,
he pulled
he's
a
smart.
he
As he should. I mean, he had the right to. I mean, she
He pulled
walked
a
in front of
Jason-
him.
No, his helmet fucking just totally hit his head. Look at that shit.
At one point she is parallel with the ground and she's still 2 feet off.
You think she got dumber after that? Because she looked pretty dumb before that. So
No,
I don't know.
that was maybe he knocked sense into her. He pulled a Jason Bourne, if you guys know what I'm talking about, when he goes flying down the flight of stairs and lands on the guy intentionally. That's what he did.
Right.
Yeah.
Uses him as a shield. The guys are shooting at him,
It's a good
and then
running-
breaks his fall with him. Dude, that was a cool scene. Horse is going to try to find it.
Bulldog is keeping score. He's winning. Okay, watch closely here. What happens there?
Oh, I've seen this one. Sorry, Tyler. I didn't mean to take it away.
Oh, right back on his head.
Well, it looks like it's gonna. Is there a ledge there? Like it's gonna stay on a ledge? I can't tell if that's a ledge or not.
I think he catches his head.
Well, can you get it? Yeah, it's stop. Pause it right there. Yeah, horse. Leave it right there. Yeah. So he can't quite. I don't see that falling back on him though. He's got a good eye on it right there.
Oh,
He can
finally,
see
a
where
video
it's
that
at.
Tyler has not seen.
I've
seen
not
this
seen
one.
this one.
I just can't remember what happens.
Is it going to go through that window?
I don't
There's
think
no
so. There's no
window.
window there. That's
There
a
is-
light reflection.
There's no window back there?
It's a light
I
the
see
bottom?
something. I see something, but I don't think that's it. I think he tries to catch it and throws him down on the ground.
I think there's a ledge that it gets stuck on, but I can't tell.
Oh, it's gonna
I'm gonna go for the back of the calf. He's gonna get it right in the back of the
Bulldog says
Achilles or
headshot.
something.
And
Or he.
Yeah, what's the chat say?
Yeah,
Yeah, what does
by
Jana
Jana.
have to say?
Yeah,
the
Jana,
pools,
what do you have to say? Who else
he
is in the
said
chat?
he falls backwards, and then Bulldog says headshot. So go ahead and play that. That's everyone has guessed.
That's a headshot, bro.
Headshot. Okay.
And go.
Notice the glasses.
What?
His glasses fell off when he threw it up there, and it landed on his glasses.
Calipers got smashed.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Oh, okay. So yeah, the
His
glasses come
Vipers
off,
got smashed.
they end up on the ground, and then it.
Oh.
His reaction to like he saw it.
Fuck.
I think if you look at the last video, you can see the lady's glasses falling off too. So that makes two videos in a row.
2 videos without glasses.
Man, that was gay as fuck.
Oh wow. Something is gonna happen
Dog,
here.
The dog.
Hey,
dog is
whoa,
gonna hump her.
whoa. Okay, hold on.
Dog is gonna hump
I've
her.
seen a lot
She's
of.
gonna bite it,
I've seen-
and
The
the dog's
dog's
gonna hump her.
bite her or something. The
gonna
dog's
hump her
like
head.
getting all
There's
like,
that dog. I didn't see that dog there at the end. Okay, I see the dog kind of following her. Okay.
It's
yeah,
like
he looks
JJ.
like he's getting ready to bite her or something.
No, it's gonna hump her head.
He's gonna jump. The dog's gonna jump while she's in the air and.
She doesn't even
out.
know what she's doing. That's not even ground.
The dog's
She's gonna bite it. She's gonna hit her head on the ground really hard and lay there.
Yeah.
And the dog's gonna
The
come over and
dog's
hump her
gonna be
head.
like the woman in the bike video. I'm
Yeah,
telling you,
yeah.
that dog is gonna
Yeah, it's
wipe her
I-
out.
it's the humping head. It's the old dick twist.
Let's see. The pools are not guessing. Janet. Pool dog.
Rhino, what do you
Bulldog.
got? What's going to
Janet.
happen here?
I think the dog's gonna blindside her. That or she lands on the dog.
The dog's gonna grab a hold of her leg somewhere, and she's just gonna fucking like face plant right into something.
She kicks
I
the
could see
dog
that.
with
It's
a
gonna like put her hand down and like gonna grab the dog and like what is I see Pizza
dog
X.
humps
What-
her when she falls
Pizza.
down, and that's from Pool Jana. Dog humps her when
Here we go.
I agree. I agree with
Dog's just
Janet.
gonna
All right,
bust
here
a
we go.
fucking
It's
nut
playing.
right in her mouth.
Nut in her mouth.
That
I
quick.
don't know if he's gonna make the completion.
Oh!
Hey, the reaction from you guys.
Oh,
I want to see the
What
rest
was
of that
that
video
sound?
where the dog humps her head.
my face! My face!
That's definitely gonna be my
God.
new ringtone. That's my new
I love that
ringtone,
you-
by the way.
I love that you just paused it when she's kicking herself in the back of the head.
No, we need that sound. We need that
All right,
sound.
wait. Go
Yeah, I
back.
wanna
That
see it.
that now that's actually trademarked. I believe that's the Rob Deerdeck, the scorpion. You call that? Yeah,
Yeah,
right,
there
right
it
up
is.
there. Yeah, right
There.
there. Yeah.
All right, so we want to hear the
She's
sound.
got a Nike imprint on the back of her head.
Oh,
On the backside of her head. Though.
What is she saying?
More feet, more feet, more feet, more feet,
Drunk face. She's saying drunk
She's
face.
saying more
That's
feet,
definitely my new ringtone.
more feet, more feet.
That one does not get old. Oh my gosh! It's
I'm
like
at
a,
the end.
I
like a
hope
lady
they pick
pressing
up
the
the
grapes.
That's the best TikTok ever right there.
Is that like kind of like Dune when they could do that Muad'Dib shit?
Mom, what?
You never
Dune?
seen Dune?
No, I haven't seen Dune.
Oh,
The original?
Good.
Oh,
Is that
fuck.
movie
Okay,
good?
either
Tell me it's
one.
good.
Oh, the original's super fucking good.
All right, I heard
Kyle
it's good.
McClanahan or whatever.
The one with Sting in it?
Yeah.
Ding.
In the Speedo thing?
Yeah, the leather shorts.
Oh boy.
Oh, yeah.
No, the original is
He's
outstanding.
gonna fall backwards.
He's definitely falling backwards.
Yeah, somebody
His arms give out.
those stairs.
He's gonna hit his head. That's gonna be
Oh.
painful.
Well, if you could do the pause again, Horace, like where he's got that angle, I think
He's
trying to
what
flip
has a
back.
reaction has an
I wanna see
absolute
He
that.
dislocates his shoulder.
That's the last
reaction. Right? You got all that weight. Yeah, there it is, right there. Yeah, there it is. Thank you. There's a lot of weight. It's gonna go backwards.
He's gonna whack the back of his head on one of those stairs. That's gonna be.
Oh, for sure.
I'm
concussion
scared to watch.
One more time.
I mean, it says these fails on top of it, so you know he doesn't make it.
His head's going to turn into a pogo stick.
Probably.
Yeah, it doesn't say these
His
successes,
spinal,
does
his
it?
spinal cord.
I think he's gonna just flatten out and just kind of slide down and just, I don't know, do something stupid. He's not gonna hurt himself.
I think he dislocates the shoulder.
Credit for that.
He knows
one.
what he's
Don't think
doing.
he's gonna hurt himself. That's optimistic.
Pool Doc's got 18 points and Jana's got 18 and a half for the lead.
Look
right
at
now.
that.
Yep.
Janet, Pool Doc.
Totally falls backwards. Okay.
Dislocates the shoulder. Dislocates the shoulder. Yep, and then he falls.
Dislocates.
You guys are all wrong. That.
Oh no. Oh boy.
That's a long distance phone call right there.
Dude, it'd be cool if you had a recording.
I wonder if he got more bars. What are the
replacement?
He better have
fuck
that
happened?
Apple here.
That's my next ringtone for sure.
Is that a commercial for OtterBox or like one of those like
Could have been.
a heavy duty like ooh, it survived that.
Did somebody just get him one of those old people things where you sit in the chair and it just lifts you all the way up?
That's we got another one here.
Go out and then come back in. I'm just having a look at the window. But I was given.
He's gonna get scared.
Yeah, well, no, the thing is.
And his phone's gonna go flying out the window.
Go out and then come back in. I'm just having a look at the window.
He's gonna scream like a bitch and throw his phone out the window.
I think his head goes back and he like has no chins. He has like 14 chins.
She's got to go out.
His neck just like layers. I think I saw this.
It's like a Chinese phone book.
Yeah, he's gonna freak out. Whoever's standing behind him is gonna scare him.
It's like a Chinese phone.
He's going through the window, but that little piece of wood framing is going to stop him.
The 12 wood.
12 wood.
Piece of wood.
Well, I don't have to guess. I've seen this.
How do we know it's not 512?
It's a Chinese phone book, right?
Yes. You didn't get 7 points. You got 8. Think about it. Think about it. You had 8 from that one.
Pool Doc.
Headshot.
We ready?
Headshot. All right. Yeah, play it. What happens to Mr. Chins?
Down here. Well, I don't know what happens to it.
Oh, wait, hold on. Pause that. That's 2 videos in a row where the head hit the back of the feet. Like that.
Dude.
That's Ralphie May. Or Ralphie, whatever.
He looked like he tased himself.
That's a motherfucking world champion limbo right there.
Dude, I can't believe he didn't
Well,
get
the
paralyzed after that.
chandelier isn't even that high. I thought he hit his head, but it didn't.
If
look
he
like
was
it.
wearing glasses, for sure they would have fallen off.
Yeah.
See if his
That would've
head
been like-
disappears like the headless horseman.
Dude, no, not with
That
that
is
much
weird.
fat holding the sidebars of the glasses on. No way.
If he was standing on the stairs, his foot would have went all the way down to the lower level.
Dude, he would have
He has
taken
no head.
out the stairs.
I'm on the
That's
phone.
right. Sorry, Zach. That's my new ringtone.
More feet? More feet?
More
Okay, you got to put both of those together.
It's the new adult alarm.
You got work to do, horse.
That's funny. All right,
More
next
feet?
Get all those together, make a ringtone out of it. Pool Doc definitely won on that one.
Where is Pool Doc? What the hell happened to you, bud? Get back in there.
He was on delay, he said. What happens in this video?
Well,
So some
Kids jumping on the
guy's
trampoline
jumping
from
off
up
the
oh,
on the
wait,
top
that's
deck.
the milk crate challenge, wasn't it?
I think it's a 12 by 12 challenge.
Bulldog says headshot probably.
He goes through it.
Yeah.
Wait.
Oh, he falls.
So he
short of
walks
it.
up. He walks up this thing. I'm trying to set up what's happening. So he walks up this plank. There's different levels, and he's doing
You know what they call those, Tyler? Stairs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Those kind of looks like a plank coming out. Like no,
It does look
right?
like
Am
a
I
diving
right?
board.
Yeah, like a diving board, right? Like
All right, last
Right,
one.
he's gonna biff. I don't know how he's gonna biff, but he's gonna biff it. He's gonna biff it.
Yeah, he's gonna fall short of this thing and hit his head on the front side of it.
Janet.
Through the
Headshot.
floor, Janice says.
Bulldog is probably right.
He's gonna hit the bottom of the platform.
Going through the floor.
Oh, here it goes. It's playing.
Oh!
Just killed his sister.
Oh, it's the lady from the bike.
It's the lady from the bike 20 years ago. 40 years ago. Boom!
She just rolls on.
Oh, she RKO'd him. Oh.
Killed her.
It's a little bit higher than the top rope.
She must get her hair dyed.
That was the last time she walked.
Wow. Holy shit. She got plastered.
Nah, kids are resilient. She'll bounce right back up from that.
Tyler, hand me that beer, will you?
Oh yeah. Oh, hey, you want it up? Oh, here you go.
Speaking of beer,
Did someone leave?
Oh, thanks.
You guys keep leaving and resizing. Who left?
There you go.
Someone shut off their video. Jay did. All right.
I didn't, did I?
No, Jay did.
Oh.
You guys keep
His head's gone. He's up there.
resizing everybody.
Wait, who's above
Lumber,
me?
give me that back. I need that back.
Oh, my bad. Here goes 1, 2, 3.
Hey, how do I turn it back on?
Who?
No, you're on.
You're
just
on.
off the
Jay
screen.
is the
Oh,
one
no.
that's off. I said Jay, not Jim.
Oh, yeah.
Jim
That
Bob.
was terrible.
Jimmy
I
J.
did it
Bob.
wrong. So
Snack's t-shirt says just up there. I thought that was him.
All right, horse, play it.
I'm working on it.
So how you feeling, Jonathan? I have to video you.
I had to
haven't
censor
done
what
it.
the word said because it gave it
You
away.
say hi.
Hi.
Are you gonna laugh? You gonna make some kind of noise?
I already taped it on my phone.
I didn't tape it.
Sorry, it's my
I have
fault.
to video you. I haven't done it. Please say hi.
I have no idea.
Hi.
Are you gonna laugh? You gonna make some kind of noise?
I already taped it on my phone.
But I didn't tape it.
Get a puke on her.
I don't know what's going on. What's going on?
Yeah, so he's
sounds
at one
like
point. She's like, "Are you gonna laugh?" And he says, "I already taped it on my phone." That's all you guys know.
Taped it on my phone?
Like he recorded it.
I already taped it on my phone.
But I didn't tape it.
Bulldog says
But
headshot.
I have zero guesses over here. I know what happened. He runs into the girl when he's running away. He runs into a chick, and her glasses fall off.
Maybe.
He gets run over by a bike.
His phone falls down the stairs.
All right, play it, dude.
And a ball hits him in the nuts.
And
He
the ball
trips and his dick falls in her.
He gets the old
ice
dick
cube
twist.
bath. He gets the ice cube bath.
The old
right
dick
there.
twist.
I have to video you. I haven't done it. Please say hi.
Hi.
Are you gonna laugh? You gonna make some kind of noise?
I already taped it on my phone.
But I didn't tape it. You're gonna tell, say hi to Boy Scout.
Hi.
He's on the dog
He's at
That's
the
some funny shit.
He's at the doctor getting to get it taken out or something?
I would leave it. I would leave that shit. If
I know this video. I know this video.
I would leave that. I would like leave the hospital right there. Like this is a gift I have.
What the?
Yep. Superhuman tricks.
What the hell?
Wow.
Bulldog got it right. If you guys read back, he says swallowed a dog chewer, and
I see that.
you hear him squeaking.
Pool dock.
All right.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's awesome. That I do recall that video. That
How did you
well,
see him?
hopefully
You
his
just
vocal
watch a lot of
cords
TikTok.
sound better. It
That
might
was
be
it.
a cool,
That was
cool
it.
music video. That was it. What?
No,
That
no,
was
no.
the short video. Watch this. That's all you're gonna get.
He's looking at the little ball.
Oh, he's going to smack his knee on that trailer hitch.
Yeah, he is. He's gonna try to climb up and his
Just
foot slips off.
horse,
Yep.
just play it because we all know what's gonna happen.
Fat guy in a little coat.
Yeah. And then his phone calls.
What?
the-
Why would you do that?
Not
Trying
once,
to get it out.
but
He's
twice.
trying to step up into the
Hey man, it's all about
Why
it's all
would you
about the
do
clout. It's all about the
What the fuck?
Hey
Why
there,
would you do
doctor.
that?
I need some pain pills.
Oh,
I
jeez.
broke my foot.
All right, play the next one.
That
Every
OxyContin's
time
some
I
good
look,
stuff.
you guys
Bang,
have resized the screen again.
Wait. Oh, I was gonna say, play that sound that we are trying to guess. Did
Oh
anyone
yeah,
try
yeah,
to
yeah,
guess
yeah,
that?
yeah. Hold on. Except I don't have it in the screen. Hold up.
No, okay, don't worry about. It. We'll wait.
No.
till,
I think
As
it's
long as I don't fuck everything
Bacon's
up.
Echo Fort.
Done gun.
Oh, look who's trying to get in now.
Bulldog. Wait, we're waiting for his
Fucking let his ass in here. So bring him.
Bulldog. Now we got everyone here.
Oh, there he is.
Hey, Bulldog.
What up,
What's
dogs?
buddy?
What's up, dude?
What up?
What's that sound? Answer.
How y'all doing?
Where's the
What's
gift?
up?
I'm all the way up.
What's that sound?
Look. All right, real quick. I think I'm way behind, but I just want to say, hope I'm in the air. But I know y'all fixing to close, but I just want to say, hey, 12.
Pool dock.
Yeah,
Chad in Portland.
yeah.
That dude was the shit.
Was he not the shit?
Was the shit.
Pool dock.
Yeah, he was.
That
he was
that's
gracious
what
to
this is
join
all
us,
about,
dude.
man.
Love
Hey, Horse, a great show with you, Jim. What's up with that, Jim? Real quick,
Pool
Jim.
dock.
What's up with your no sleeve shirt, bro? That rules.
It's his pipes, man. He's showing off his
Michigan,
guns.
Texas.
Yeah.
Want to get back?
I've
Gibson, my
I
boy,
laid around the house
512.
shirt.
My boy, 512. Can't
You-
wait for the jam. I'm
You gonna
sorry.
be
I
in Green Bay next
don't know what
weekend?
the hell's going on here. I'll be able to watch the show. Well, I'm able to, do everything I do, chat on the show. But when I try to get on the show, for some reason, my shit's fucked.
You're on the show, dude.
You're on right now,
We
bro.
can hear ya.
Yeah, you're
Hey,
live
I'm
right
with
now.
Jay.
Bulldog,
Miss
I
Jay?
can hear you, bud.
Janet.
Yeah, Jay in the background. Anyway, I just want to say
Pool
I'm
dock.
so happy, and I think that y'all did a hell of a job tonight. And I'm so glad
Thanks,
that I'm able
Bulldog.
to work with you guys. And I'm out
Hey,
late.
Bulldog,
by-
wait. Ow! He filmed some thunderstorms tonight. Well, he can hear me on the show. That footage,
He
go to
ain't
his.
by the thunderstorms.
Those
I saw
thunderstorms
that shit.
were
Trust
sweet.
me, I'm on top of that stuff now, Horace.
Yeah.
I'm a Texas guy, so he's
That-
just fine.
Play the video. We
Video's
gotta get
fine.
through these
All right,
because we're
all
already
right.
past our time, and we gotta guess what the sound was.
Wait. While we're doing, let's do this real quick. What is this sound? All right, everybody. guess.
512
What's the
lumber
sound?
is a good.
Play that again. Sounds like somebody blasting a cattle prod inside of a dairy.
Anyone else want to guess?
Yeah, it's Bacon's Echo Fort.
It's Bacon's echo fart in slow motion. Are you gonna-
Echo fart.
You might as well give the answer. Give the
Done,
answer
done.
because no one knows what it is.
All right. Here it
Can't
comes.
say I know.
Watch the screen on
Yeah, you're gonna have to catch it on the
on
delay.
YouTube. We'll be delayed.
You'll catch it on the delay. You'll have to watch it in the feed.
Microwaving metal?
Cicada.
It's the biggest cicada you've ever seen in your life.
Right.
I think you don't mess with bugs that sound like machine guns.
Right.
Yeah,
I saw that and I was like, oh, this is going on the Woodscope. All right, go back
That's my
to
new
the
ringtone.
TikTok.
Seems like a Nebraska thing. We
Go
don't
back
got
to what
those in
now?
Wisco. That's a big son of a gun.
TikToks.
TikToks. All right, here we go.
We're gonna end this train wreck. Oh, someone's getting hit in the head.
Someone's getting hit by a bike.
She's gonna kick herself in the back of the head.
So they're filming a skateboard.
She jumps in the ocean and it's only an inch deep.
Is that a firework that you're like trying to see if it's lit? Like
Somebody in a
I know
bike
it's
comes through.
daytime.
Any more guesses before Horse just plays it?
She's
Yeah,
gonna try
bike
to
comes
jump
through.
she's gonna try to jump in the water, get a running start, and she hits the fence. It's a nightmare.
Fuck, I can't even see it.
Go in the bike.
Yes.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Yeah, you would have thought by that reaction someone died. Oh my god!
Oh Jesus! Oh my God!
It's probably a boosted board.
What are we looking at here?
Well, I was gonna say it's probably one of those ones.
Was that the last video?
Like riding on.
That was the
and
last
then he
one.
That was
Lost
the last
it.
one. Okay.
I gotta get.
I'm
out.
going to Husker game tomorrow, so I'm gonna go to bed myself here. So
All right.
You're going to
All right.
where?
Well, yeah. Let's end this show. You guys, thanks for coming in, Chad. I know if you're probably not watching this replay, but dude, thank you so much for coming on. That was a fun interview. Just giving us some history of who you were in the jungle, and dude, good show. Thanks for coming in, everyone. You guys helping me out with this with the TikToks. Appreciate it. You guys all get a Woodscopes t-shirt. Don't even send me your address. I already have it. It's coming. It's already on its way, Brad. I can't talk. But anyhow, love you guys. Have a great night. Horse, you can end this right
Tyler.
now.